those that are financially excluded stay in the rural area, right? Means that the microfinances are the heart of those places. If you're in the rural area, it's just like saying that you are the school within a particular environment. If you're in a community, right, and you live within that community, you know the needs of the people, you know what they want. You can begin to sense, you can predict the solution that will meet their need rather than one bucket fit all solution, right? And the fact also that the traditional MFB is no more the traditional MFB that we used to know. Proud to now, MFBs, once you are a tier 1, tier 2, you're limited by a particular geographical location. But now with just one location that you're licensed to operate, you can actually reach millions of people. These are like the recent developments in the MFB space. And then in having looked at all the developments in this space, we were able to cap all of them into 5 major challenges that we feel the MFB currently face today. Please, the next slide. One of the challenges is core banking infrastructure. We all typically know that for you to be able to run a financial institution today, one of the things that is at the core is the core banking infrastructure, right? And in the core banking infrastructure, most of them are still a bit very that old type that is not very easily, it's not very easy, their legacy systems, it's not easy for you to scale, right? Those are one of the things that we know that and one of the challenges MFB faced, and it's not just the fact that the core banking infrastructure sometimes can be very expensive, maintenance, you have to pay a maintenance fee, you have to pay for a number of accounts on their platform and all the likes, right? Those are one of the things that we know plagues the MFB today. Another thing is the fact that MFBs are asking for access to channel infrastructure, right? But the fact is, yes, we say that we have these channels available, but at what cost is it coming to the MFBs, considering the fact that you just want to be able to create one bank that can service a particular community, and then someone is saying, come and pay how many millions of dollars to get this infrastructure. These infrastructures are quite expensive. We do recognize that as one major challenge. So the hacks is, we want this infrastructure, but how can you give me the same infrastructure that we do so many things, but at rock bottom price? As my friend would say, you want to be able to get, what's it called? You want me to give you champagne, but with a Zobo money, right? I think that's the idea. And the fact also that most of the infrastructure you currently have are not easily to scale. So what we're saying is, you have the fact that you projected 10,000 customers, and down the line, you currently begin to have transactions going into 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. You begin to have challenge. The system you've budgeted for is for 10,000. Now, how do I begin to scale? By the time you start bringing more transactions, you start finding out that you begin to have inefficiency in your system, right? And another thing we also know is the fact that the competition is intense. It's very, very intense. And the fact that, and the last one we also were able to wrap around is revenue leakage. We also recognize that one of the major challenges also in MFB space is ability to be able to have skilled resource that can help you operationalize all your accounting system. I know I've once worked in the operations team where, you know, the fact that if you do not set your GL properly, there is a whole lot of reconciliation issues that can always come up. Issue whereby if it's a receivable, you're supposed to set for an outflow, you're going to set a payable. And then beyond just setting all those receivable and payables, you're also looking at the fact that you can't even, most of the times, one of the major challenges is the fact that you don't even know what your cost per transaction is. And that has been a major challenge. Why? Because this person comes to you and give you a bundle pricing and say, this is $500,000. This one gives you $200,000. But in terms of what is the cost per transaction? Because it's when you know your cost per transaction, you can actually tell how profitable you are on a particular channel. So that's one of the things that one of the challenges today we observe with the MFBs. So you have all this various pricing, you do not have proper accounting and operational procedures available. So what happens is you begin to have reconciliation challenge, fees are not properly recognized, fees are not properly recognized as and when due. And then it thus looks as if you're kind of not profitable. And in all of these things, all we see is the fact that one key ingredient is missing. We're saying that if we can automate all those processes, right? If we can automate all those processes, that means that the major challenge plaguing this particular sector would probably be a thing of the past. So if we go to the next slide. So if we go to the next slide, we talked about what's the reason why we have all these issues with lack of automation. And since we recognize that this is a lack of automation, what are we going to do as a switch? The next slide, please. So our value proposition, in order to be able to solve all these challenges I have itemized, all these challenges I've itemized, we're saying that we would work with you to develop a roadmap for your infrastructure. So we're saying that we currently have this infrastructure, we have developed it. And because we know that it's not one cap fit all, we can work with you to do a tailor-made solution that can help suit your current needs. So we look at what is exactly are you trying to achieve? Can we work together? We can help you build this infrastructure. We're saying that we want you to focus on your core business, which is banking. And let us worry about technology for you. Why? Because we've done that in time past. We've had, you can see our history, our track record of what we've done with technology. We've pioneered card rail transactions. We're also pioneering non-card rail transactions. We're playing in all these various sectors. And we're saying, focus on your banking, get the people, let them bring in the money. Worry about the floats. Give me the technology. I will give you technology at a rock bottom price. I can also help you scale easily without you having so much headache as regards where will I get money to buy Stratos, Sava? Where will I have money to buy all these HSMs and all this plenty infrastructure that you think you would need? And then also we're saying that on the same platform, we can also work with you to have non-stop enhancement. What's that enhancement? We know technology change. Like today, you're saying that this is where the future is, and tomorrow the future has already moved, right? And we're saying that because of the fact that we have strategy in place to look at what technology is in the next 10 years. We can work with you and guide you to say, you know what, for this infrastructure, don't do short term, let's make it long term. Why? Because the technology will change, and as it begins to change, we want to be able to change along with it in a very agile way. And then what do we do? How do we intend to deliver this old technology that we're talking about, this omni-channel platform that we're talking about? We're saying that we can offer bank as an access, right? And under the bank as an access, we have customer management, we have account management, we also have transaction management within bank as access, right? So we're saying we have various buckets within these omni-channel environments. I would say that under these buckets, we can give you bank as access. So if you say that you want something that will help with customer management, we have it. If you want something that would help with accounts management, available. They want to say bank as aggregator. I was saying bank as aggregator today, as an MFB, you just want to come and run. Is this issue of going to, hey, do you have A? Do you have B? Do you have C? Don't stress. We have it available on this platform. We're saying we can give you bank as aggregator. What does that even mean? Today, we know that to host an ATM infrastructure will cost you nothing less than 10 million. What's the cost of an ATM today? Close to about 5 million thereabouts before you build, before you do that. Why don't we give you an agency banking platform that you can white label to suit what you want? So instead of taking 10 million into the ATM infrastructure, enable so many people, buy a lot of POS terminals, give it to your agent out there, and they can represent you. And we're saying that we have the infrastructure to be able to support you to do that today. White label agency infrastructure. We're also saying that we can give you internet banking, mobile banking platform. So if you're coming to a platform, we're giving you everything that you need to run without you necessarily running from pillar to post to achieve what you want to do. Then also bank as an advisor. So what we're saying is, because we understand how the technology landscape is, right? And we know how technology has evolved and is evolving and what the next big thing would be. Right, the same way we're talking about metaverse and the rest, right? We know what it is going to be like in payments. We can work with you to personalize solutions that will not just be for your now customers, but will also be for your future customers. And with all those beautiful things that we said we have, we've been able to layer it under a robust open banking API, right? So we're saying today, what will typically happen is I'll tell you to go and get how many VMs do you need? How many HSMs do you need to help you with encryption? How many servers do you need to buy and purchase? And we're saying that, all the solutions they're available via APIs. We are layering it via open banking API. And what this thing would also do for you is the fact that today, one of the things I know DMBs have used to strive is the fact that they tend to partner with aggregators, fintechs, and then give them APIs for them to be able to scale, for them to be able to scale their transaction faster. This particular application have API layers, means that you as MFB can begin to partner also with fintechs, with aggregators to say, okay, fine, are you a fintech, right? But what do you need? Do you need, what API service do you need? Do you need my transfer service? Oh yeah, take the API. You can easily scale like that. You scale faster when you begin to have all these pockets for aggregators work for you than you going to, beyond you just going one-on-one to get this customers on this platform. And this platform is actually layered also on the fact that it is machine learning and forensic, enterprise security, and cloud infrastructure. By saying cloud means that the whole idea of you invested in so much VM softwares and all the servers would reduce drastically. I know our target market for this solution, our target market are the MFBs, merchant bank, mortgage bank, the tier 3 DMBs, and OFIs. The next slide, please. So, all these beautiful things I've been talking about since this platform that I said is very genge, that will do all these pleasant things for you, right? What is the attributes of the platform? So these are DigiBank platform is a digital banking suite that helps banks and financial institutions take both steps to strive in the future by enabling their value chain with the support of intuitive and flexible enterprise technology that are ready for the future. I think the key word for me here would be the fact that it is intuitive. Okay, fine, thank you. The key word for me here is the fact that it is what? Intuitive and also flexible. Nothing beats that when it comes to technology today. You don't want a technology that you cannot, what's it called? Scale very fast with that would not respond to your need as at the time you want it to do what? Respond. And it's a complete omni-channel digital banking solution platform. We've partnered with Codebase, who is one of our partners that would to deploy this particular solution. And one of the features of the platform, as I readily said, is it has 400 plus ready integration APIs. That's you know what APIs is today in the market, right? 400 plus ready integration APIs means that you are no more just that traditional guy that just have one core banking infrastructure and somebody wants to talk to your core banking. You're saying that you have to build one middleware, another middleware that can talk to your infrastructure. So we're saying that, please, just take this API, whatever, is this SOAP, is it JSON? Check the language and run, integrate to my core banking platform, create accounts off me. You can empower your agents right on the go to create accounts for you, onboard customers for you. That means you have a lot of people working for you. Why? Because you have a platform that is what? Scalable, right? So we're saying that it has 455 APIs for onboarding, 25 APIs for ATM and card-based transactions. We're telling those super agents or those agencies, it's not beyond just creating card on my platform. If that customer wants to see, madam, what's the transaction that I did yesterday? You have that APIs that you can call this API, you can call for transactions to see what this customer have done basically. So what we're saying is it has all these beautiful APIs that can make you partner very easily with fintechs, that can make you scale very fast, and can also make you enhance your growth and profitability. It is highly scalable. It is cloud ready. And I'm sure the fact, I'm speaking to MFBs, you know what it takes to get one servers today, right? And I was saying that this platform is what? Cloud ready. It has superior performance and reliability. And it's also what it adheres to international and local regulatory compliance. We are in a very, very, what will I use now? We're in an environment whereby regulatory adherence to regulatory requirements is very key. And we're saying that this platform has taken that into cognizance to ensure that you're compliant in every phase, looking at what compliance is, anti-money laundering, FIRS, and all those stuff. This is what this platform has been able to, this is what this platform is designed to also help you do. The next slide, please. So for the next slide, what we're basically looking at is we've been able to compartmentalize what the various platform is talking about. The next slide, please. What the various platform is talking about. Oh, sorry. So for the next slide, we're talking about the digibank, what we've been able to compartmentalize what the various platforms is. So we have the digibank channels, and that's talked about what are the functionalities for these digibank channels. We're talking about digital banking onboarding. Onboarding has gone beyond form and paper these days. I mean, if I go to a bank and you give me a form to fill, I'm like, really, this time and age? Like, seriously? You guys get serious here, right? That's onboarding. People want to be able to onboard, open accounts on the go. That's the attribute. And the fact that the people we are speaking to now, the Gen Z that are looking at, they don't have time, they don't have patience. That's why you see that, oh God, don't give me paper to fill, right? Someone said we've been able to digitalize what onboarding, bills payments, social features, right? So I speak to the social features, the fact that today people are beginning to get to the world of, I'm in WhatsApp and I'm communicating with them. I'm saying, bros, urgent, okay. But I'm saying urgent, okay, right? Instead of me to leave that WhatsApp and go to my mobile banking app within the WhatsApp, I can quickly give the urgent okay without necessarily leaving that social media with environment. These are one of the things that are currently embedded in the digibank platform that we currently have. It has personal finance, collections and disbursement, biometrics, transfers, and so many other things. Then also digibank integrator open API platform. I've been talking about open APIs and the fact that we're currently the new language in town is now open banking, right? So we're saying that you can have access to developer sandbox whereby you can test your product, you can give your what's it called, your APIs out where developers can do so many creative and innovative things within your environment, and collectively, whatever they've done, you can say, oh, this solution looks beautiful. It's something I want to extend to my customers. And then you can easily extend that to your customers. And then the fact that you can do so many orchestrations, there is no end to the number of orchestrations you can do on this platform. And it also supports open banking framework. The fact that these APIs are already defined, it comes in an already defined manner. So you're not thinking of how do I send out this API doc? Must it be this? Must it be JSON? Must it be SOAP? Must it be whatever you want to be? It's already standardized, right? And then it makes vendor onboarding very easy, very seamless. You can create a form so that by the time someone is filling a form, it's talking straight to your platform, and it's very easy for you to onboard people on that platform. Then it also has a smart rule. The smart rule helps you in terms of smart risk scoring. Today, we know the fact that one of the arts of MFVs is loan, right? And thank God PSBs don't have to give loan. At least you have that part of your business still together. So one of the things is in giving this loan, you want a system that can make smart decision for you to know that, hey, this Ogalagbaja already has money with bank A. You don't give that loan. This platform can give you access, gives you those type of algorithms to make those type of critical decision. As I said, it has dynamic loan rules and eligibility parameters, integration with core and loan management system. So it's not just talking only to your system or Interswift system. You can integrate it to various systems. As we said, it has API capability that you can consume for you to be able to do that. Then what's the key benefit of this platform, this omni-channel platform we've been talking about all the while? It is modular and highly composable. It is dynamic, flexible, and agile. You can't overemphasize that a platform that you should have, if it's a technology platform, it should have this ability. It should be flexible and agile, means that you should be able to deploy solutions in phases as you require. It is cloud ready and containerized, so you don't have to invest in all these infrastructures I've been talking about. It has 400 plus financial service ready open APIs, 400 plus, means that there is no end to what you can innovate, what you can think, and what you can do on this platform. Rapid time to market deployments. You don't have to start thinking of you need this and this for you to be able to deploy to market. It's also legacy system agnostic. So do you have that legacy system that you probably already have your data, and to transfer those data will be a problem? We're saying that it can work with any legacy system, and also seamless and frictionless integration. So what's the big picture for us in Interswitch? We're saying that having built this platform, what's the big picture? What are we looking at? What are we looking at for this particular sector? We're saying that we're looking at Interswift, our target verticals for these are solution are the MFBs, the MFIs, the cooperative, the OFIs, and the what and the fintechs. These are the people. Those are our target verticals. And what do we want to offer to you? We are saying that we want to be able to give you an infrastructure, a digital payments infrastructure that will be connected by default to your card and non-card rail, the USSD, the web, the mobile money, POS, ATM, fund-ready open APIs, cloud storage. And we're saying that you should come on, we immediately come on this platform, you have access to all this channel, right? And then in having access to all this channel, we'll also give you payment as a service, whereby as you're coming on this platform, what card scheme do you want to connect? Is it Verve or any other card scheme? You can connect to the card scheme easily. What payment switch do you want to connect? Do you want to connect to Interswitch or any other payment switch? You have that very easily for you to plug into a collection and disbursement platform, a lending platform that already has all the credit bureau connected to it, and it's already the fact that all the smart rules are already set within this platform. Bulk SMS, wallet services, invoice discounting, third-party processor. So this is the big picture for us. This is where this platform is going. And we're hoping that looking at what this platform would do and can do for you, I think that you're already thinking that, what am I doing? What am I waiting for? This is where I should be. So we're saying that what is our implementation process? We're saying that for you to get this beautiful solutions we've talked about, we would, all you need to do is tell us, Interswitch, this thing is very nice, we want to work with you. We will draft contracts, we'll do a project kickoff, we'll walk you through, look at what your current infrastructure is, what's your current infrastructure like, what do you need? We'll do a scoping of the total project. We'll then we'll give you what we have, customized to your exact need, train, do migration, do bug fixing, and then go live. And in all of those things, we will handhold you throughout this process, because we recognize the fact that we just want to focus on banking. We're your technology partner. We handhold you to be able to do all this as it go. What's our commitment to you? Our commitment to you is to say that we would hold several workshops. We would train you. We would for you to be able to explore all the features of this platform. We'll also have dedicated engineers strictly for you that can ensure that the onboarding process is fast and is very fast for you to onboard and come upon on that platform. We'll also have dedicated support team. We also know that support is very critical to the MFBs, right? We're saying that we provide to you dedicated support team that can support you for everything we want to do. And then the next thing is streamline the onboarding process. I know one of the complaints we've gotten in time past is the fact that the onboarding process can be quite long. What we've done is to streamline the onboarding process for you to come on board on this platform, and also give you a portal where you can see and view your transactions online real time. I know one of the current challenge, I want to believe in one of the questions you probably ask is, we need a portal. I'm saying that this will come with a portal where you can view your transactions, your POS, your ATM, uptime, downtime, what are your customers doing, so that you can do proper transaction monitoring. Thank you very much. I think it's time for question and answer.
Okay, thank you, Suzanne. By the way, Suzanne heads our retail payment business within the Sistigra division of Interswitch. Please appreciate her once more. I mean, listening to Suzanne, I feel like owning a microfinance bank. I think I should just go to my village, open one, and allow Interswitch worry about the infrastructure. Now it's time to ask your questions. I'm sure there are burning questions in your mind. So who bails the cat? Please, your name, your institution, and your question.
Yeah, my name is Abidemi Oseni Odunton. I'm the CEO of Costep Microfinance Bank. I mean, great job at Interswitch. At least you made this industry remain the way it is today. So I mean, we have to applaud for that. But my question, I have many trouble with Interswift. And one of the questions, thank God you are, one of the things you have identified here, we've done integration, we've done all that. We've done over close to 15,000 cards already dispatched to our customers. We're at the stage, especially the APIs, the response time is very poor. I just want to be honest. I have several mails been sent. And what I want to do with these APIs is I want to do an instant card issuance. Also a card request on my mobile. I couldn't do that. We've been on this for quite a number of times. So that I think the response time here has to be scaled up for us, because for us that are already on this platform, that have been doing quite a lot. So we have the experience. So the thing is hitting us. And also on the Smart ID, it's on the new Smart ID, it's just a trouble for us as well. I mean, we work with the instant NIMS. And when we're doing that, I mean, not that we don't have internal capacity. We build our internal capacity that makes everything we do, even more easier. But we just find out that when it comes to your end, it's just a bit very slow for our space, for our speed. So that on the Smart ID, we'll not be able to do anything concrete. But I know that the Smart ID has a very robust to be done, which we will not be able to. We've studied, we've done it with, back and forth. So on that. And then this third one, on the USSD, of course, we just spend our USSD because the information was that you are migrating from your old USSD to a new USSD, that you don't need to have a star, blah, blah, add some code features and all before you come to my own institutions. So that has not been done as well. So the last one that I'm going to talk about is that it is a plead. I believe there is, because of your experience in the market, the MLBs I'm sure they are ready to work with you, because sometimes that give me an option that should I look elsewhere to go and meet some financial institution that can scale because those APIs are very important to us. And if you provide it, we at our end, I'm sure I'm speaking for most of us here who are maybe probably on your platforms or about to come, so that because the market, we don't need to deceive ourselves. The market is extremely now competitive, and you must be more innovative about the way and manner. And innovations now doesn't mean is only technology. So, but for us to rely on your infrastructure to ensure that we hold these markets, because we are the one interfacing with, and I know the trouble, even just because I don't know how I'm going to dispatch a card of 20,000. That's so, but if we're able, because of the PIN and all that, if you're able to do all these things that I can integrate with my app, somebody can activate his card via his mobile app or via his web or the web version, it's more make life easier. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thanks for your questions. Okay, Victor wants to respond to some or all of them. Victor?
Thank you so much. And thanks, Susan, for a wonderful presentation. I was listening to the presentation. Part of the things you complained were some of the key things, and some of this feedback has helped us. We're not denying the fact that we've had challenge on that infrastructure, but some of the feedback we've gotten from the microfinance bank has helped us understand the market better. So if you look at what Susan was presenting, I know in the next 2 months, we'll be sending some communication to you. We've built a new infrastructure, which is what she's presenting. The old infrastructure was ISO-based. So today we want to connect to microfinance bank. We have to build a middleware to convert ISO to API and vice versa. But now we have an infrastructure that is API-based. So if you look at what she presented, we have over 400 APIs ready to use, from onboarding to name it, and we're still building. So be rest assured, we heard you loud and clear. And our response to those complaints is what we're doing now. And part of the experience too, from what you said, you want to launch quickly. So we're saying we've had all the challenges, we've built a platform, even the one you said and the one you did not say. We've outlined all those things in the infrastructure. And we're saying very soon, like in the next 4 weeks or so, we'll be migrating people from the old to the new. And once we do that migration, trust me, you start observing, you start seeing those changes. Implementation will be faster, transaction will be seamless. And we know we can't build everything. We can't deny that. So what we're doing is that we've opened it in such a way that third parties can build, host on the platform, and you consume that thing. So just like the big picture she painted, just imagine you don't see your customer's transaction end to end. You only see what happened within your space. But with this, it's a one-stop shop. Your customer don't leave your environment. They're doing financial services. He's purchasing insurance. He's doing this, but we are seeing all those things. And with those data, you can build product that speaks to the needs of those customers. So thanks for the feedback. And we would like some of those feedback to come as we have this engagement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Tony Okoma. I'm the company secretary, head of legal of AG Mortgage Bank PLC. I've listened to the response given to the comments of my friend, the last speaker. Actually, I didn't need to say any other thing because he spoke my mind. But the reason why we are here is because we need to get some clarifications and we need to understand things and put them in the right perspectives. You are big in the industry, and so we expect so much from you. I need to adumbrate this because that is why we are here. Your response is, to say the least, very discouraging. Even emails, just to respond to common emails, I had to send about 4 or 5 emails just to execute a common MOU or service level agreement. That doesn't put you in good light. And that is why I'm here, really. I'm sorry if we have to emphasize this, but it is necessary. Please help us. Like he said, the space is so competitive that we don't have to allow certain things slip by. So I thank you very much for what you are doing, but I think you need to do more. I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments. Do we have any other question?
Okay, good afternoon. I think it's okay, good morning. My name is Felix Omodayo, Group Head E-Business, AB Mortgage Bank. Okay, 2 things. Permit me to just also say exactly what the first two guys, what they talked about. Support is very key and we are not getting it. Most times you're told log it on the service desk. You log 48 hours, 72 hours, you're still chasing after them. You send emails. In fact, if they will respond maybe tomorrow. At times you call. I've had opportunity where I've called someone and the person is telling me, the only thing he just said is, I'm on leave, please call another person. I think number 1 is rude. As a service person, you must learn to give good service, quality service. There is nothing wrong in you taking my request and say, okay, don't worry, someone in the office will get in touch with you. That's cost service. That's what I will do, and that's what I expect to be done. But what I found out is most Interswift staff in particular, they don't have the customer apathy. They don't care what we're passing through. Even when I'm calling someone and I'm saying, I have a customer in the banking hall, is screaming the banking hall down. And then the person will treat the transaction with levity. It's very annoying and very disturbing. If we really, Interswift is one of the, if not number 1, in respect to tech industry in Africa. If we really want to continue and sustain it, then we need to deal with that issue of this customer service is very important. Most companies that are no more today are no more because of bad customer service, bad customer relation, attitude, and everything is terrible. It's appalling. For me, I get upset with it. So I think it's important I say this. But thank God for this kind of forum. So I think it's an opportunity for you to take the feedback and please help work on that. So that way we can easily, be happy to get more things on board. Most of the time I've had to rely on personal relationship to speak to people who I know understand good quality service to get the best out. And I think it's not a good thing. Secondly, to the presentation, even though I met when you were doing the presentation, fantastic. But I also noticed I saw something around core banking there. So that means there was no core banking. I saw a core banking in the diagram.
Oh, yeah, it was in the diagram, but what we're speaking to is the fact it's not actually a core banking infrastructure. It's just a digital payment infrastructure that can speak to.
Okay, that will speak to core banking. Oh, thank you. So that addresses, but I wanted to find out if I have my core banking, but that answers it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure your comments, your suggestions are very well noted. We have members of the management team as well, so you're being heard, actually.
Good morning. My name is Victor Juju. I work with Future Finance Company. My question is as regards to the smart rule API or something. So I'm asking this as regards to lending. So I just want to understand it clearly. Is it going to be more of an algorithm for credit scoring? Because that has been a major challenge when it comes to lending, understanding customer behavior. And if it's going to be an algorithm, I would like to understand where is the source, because we've had several algorithms in the past where they try to run through customers' bank statement to understand spending habits, understand inflows of the customers. Because if you can understand that, you can make lending automated to remove, actually eliminate the human interference when it comes to lending. Because for my institution, we have apart from the traditional lending, we have core mobile lending services. And this has been a challenge over time where minus the whole automation process, you still need the human interference to understand the customer bank statement, to understand the customer spending habit, to determine if this particular amount that is asking for, there's capacity to repay. So I just want to understand that part from your presentation. Let's see if it will come with what you're signing up for. Thank you.
Okay, so please, before Victor takes on the question, I'd like to appeal to us. We have a whole lot of other presentations to make to you. There will be breaks in between for us to interact more. So please note your questions. At the appropriate time, you'll be able to ask them as well, just so that we can progress to some other important presentations that we also have to cover here today. Thank you, Victor.
Thanks, Juju. I'll respond to your questions, but beyond that, I'd like to say one of the things that will make this event a success is some of this feedback. Every good system is built on the kind of feedback we get to improve the system. There's no perfect system ab initio, but as we get those feedback, it helps us to improve. And in improving, some of the people that will come in the next 2 years or in future will not experience that, because the contribution of every participant helped to make the system much better. So thanks for some of those feedback. And like Ejike said, we have senior management here and we are hearing you loud and clear. For his response, yes, it has an algorithm. Today we have our Interswift lending system. I know some of you have heard of it. And what it does is that it takes those data across all channels, aggregates those data, and they're also connected to credit bureaus, based on CBN regulation also. So we aggregate all those data, and based on that, we have rules. They do those algorithms to generate a score, and they present that score to you. Based on those score, you can take a decision on the amount you want to lend to the person. So it takes off those load off you, to help you aggregate tons and tons of data, from different sources to help take that decision. So someone you wanted to give 10,000 before, based on that score, you can decide to just give him 5,000 naira, and beyond that, he said something about machine learning. As the customer keep doing transaction across all channels, we start observing different behaviors, across those channels. If you're taking loan before and he did not pay back, we're able to understand, okay, the credit score reduces over time, but it equips you, to take some decision that naturally on your own, you might not have access to such data. But like I said, maybe during the course of the breakout session, we're open to engage and have this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Victor. I'd like to call on my colleague. Please note down your questions. We would have opportunities to interact further and answer your questions, or at the end of the program, we can actually just take all your questions. So I'd like to, at this time, hand over to my colleague, Jibuno Nwaji, to continue. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ejike, and thank you all for your wonderful contributions, your comments, and your questions as well. It just goes to show that we are definitely here to seek clarifications, as was said earlier, and definitely keep the conversation going. So thank you all very much for your participation. We're definitely looking forward to it. So we're going to move on to the next section of the program, which has to do with mobile banking. And I'm sure all of you here, when you think of the term mobile banking, you already know what it means. It's basically, how can you just make financial transactions easier using your mobile devices? And that can be anywhere from simply just checking account statements to actually transferring money within Nigeria and abroad. And we've seen the leaps and bounds that we have made thanks to companies like Interswitch with regards to how we are able to seamlessly transfer money within Nigeria. And that's what mobile banking is all about, is made people and made situations more inclusive, brought more people on board into financial transactions, and we're definitely making huge strides. And I want to just give a big shout out to Interswitch, and please put your hands together for Interswitch on being the leaders when it comes to that in Nigeria. And to now speak specifically on mobile banking, I'm going to ask that the business development executive for the mobile financial services for Interswitch to speak on mobile banking, Brittany Osuola, who's now going to give a presentation. Please put your hands together for Brittany.
Thank you. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and thank you for honoring our invitation today. Okay, so I'm sure I'm not blocking the podium. So thank you, everyone, for honoring our invitation today. It's safe for me to take off my nose mask because at least I'm observing the required protocol for the COVID pandemic. So my name is Osuola Brittany. I'm the Business Development Executive for Mobile Financial Services within Interswitch ecosystem. And I'm super excited to see everyone seated here. I'm excited that it's one thing to call on people, and it's another thing for them to honor invitation. So on behalf of the Interswitch team, I would like to say thank you to everyone for making your wonderful and amazing selves available for today's session. So speaking based on today's theme, which is accelerating growth using the mobile application, I'll be running through the outline. So my presentation is going to take this flow. So first, I'll talk about what growth means to you. Secondly, I'll talk about how mobile financial services helps your business as an entity. And lastly, I'll talk about some of the financial offerings or some of the product offerings we'll have for your organization. Please, can you scroll? So first, what growth means to you, or means to us, or means to everybody. There are some critical questions I would like to ask as I progress, and I know most of us, as I speak to the pointers we have here, I believe there's some answers that will run into everyone's mind. So first, I will start by saying, first of all, I would like to know how many of us have a mobile application in our organization, so I can narrow down the conversation towards that direction. Okay, so I can see a couple of hands up. So first of all, I would like to ask, your mobile app, is it amongst the app that when you talk about mobile app, when people are discussing about mobile apps within Nigeria and across Africa, is your mobile app among those apps that they talk about? When we talk about first 10 mobile apps in Nigeria, first 5 mobile apps in Nigeria, is your mobile app amongst the app that will be mentioned? I know everybody has an answer, please just hold it. Then the second pointer is your mobile app recognized by most of these entities? KPMG, you have some magazines, some newspapers. Are your mobile apps recognized in that capacity out there? Then thirdly, you talk about customer quality and quantity, right? So basically, it's one thing to have customers log into your mobile app, and it's another thing for them to carry out transactions. So some customers could come into your mobile app just to see what it looks like. And another category of customers is they log into the mobile app to carry out transactions. And again, for you as a business, it's when your customers transact, that's when you make money, and that's when you grow your revenue. But again, is your mobile app that stable? Is it stable in the sense that your customers at every point in time, they can rely on your app? You know, most of us have banks or a couple of banks out there, both commercials and MFBs, right? But in our app or in our phones, there's this particular mobile app that at every point in time, you need to carry out a transaction, and you don't want to hear stories. You don't want to hear that, oh, madam, sorry, I've not gotten the money, I got the money. There's some app like that at every point in time, you can guarantee 99.9% success rate. Most of us would like to use such app. Is your app like that? Is it reliable? Is it an app that customers are happy to use, right? Because if your mobile app is up to standard, the uptime is amazing, and your customers are able to carry out successful transactions, at every point in time, customers tend to tilt towards using your mobile app. So the fourth one is excellent engagement and experience. Your UI UX, like me personally, I don't know if it's because I'm in the mobile app business, but again, I pay attention to the UI UX of every mobile app, right? I hate stress, having to click just because I want to send money. It's bad enough that I'm trying to spend some money that I don't literally want to spend. But it's another level of stress for me to get into the mobile app and start scrolling through screens, first screen, second screen, maybe just to do 1,000 naira airtime or just to send 5,000 naira to some handy guy, right? So basically, is your mobile app that sleek? Is it that fluid? Stickability? Is it a mobile app that at every point in time your customer are eager to use to carry out transactions? Then the last is your app does it generate revenue for you as a business within your entity? As I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well. I work in an organization, right? But there are some businesses, there's some particular businesses that you know that the company relies on them because of what they bring in. They bring in a good quarter of the revenue accrual for the whole organization. Is your mobile or is your business bringing in such revenue to make you to portray you in a good light, in the sense that at every point in time that you're walking in, they say, oh, that's the guy. His business contributes to 60% of what the company's budget, basically. So again, if answering all those questions and you have like 3 negative answers, I will strongly say it is high time you start looking for a better mobile app or how to improve what you already have, right? So for those that already have mobile apps, most times people will be like, so what do you expect me to do? Do you expect me to junk my app and move to you? Okay, so if you think your mobile app is optimal, is something you can use as an entity, something you can improve on, we also have other solutions that we can, some other solutions we can share or sell to you to help you improve what you already have. But if you are in the phase of thinking of changing your mobile app, I think you're in the right place, because we have the reputation of building most of the reputable mobile apps that you have in Africa and even Nigeria. So you talk about Access Bank, you talk about Zenith, First Bank to mention, but Polaris Bank, FCMB, a whole lot of those guys. Even in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, we have FCB, we have FAB, we have Access Ghana, we have First Bank Ghana. We have a whole lot of customers littered everywhere, right? So we have that capacity, we have that capability, we have the resources to support you and also to manage your business and accelerate growth for you. Because again, what is growth for us? Growth is when our customers are making money, because it in turn refers to revenue for me. If my customer is successful in whatever he's doing, again, I'm going to make money as well, because there will be some agreed revenue share or AMC model. And again, outside there, if you're recognized, tomorrow someone will ask, who built your mobile app? It will be a thing of confidence for us to hear, oh, it is Interswift. And we get referrals and we also get customers' confidence. Please, can we move to the next slide? Thank you. Okay, so this slide speaks to critical growth drivers. Right? So we talk about products. We listed them. We broke them into different stratas. We talk about product, technology, marketing, and business. For products, like we know, mobile app with time goes obsolete. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I know I have some customers sitting here, and I'm looking at some potential customers, by the end of this session. So I know I have a customer we were having a conversation with sometime last year when they got in, and we designed their UI UX, we did everything. Okay, so maybe I'll start by saying that we don't independently develop the bank's UI UX. We work in conjunction with the bank. What we do is we develop like 3 different screens. We can do more, but again, we've realized over time that the more we give to our customers, the more they get confused when it comes to making decision or taking decision on what exactly they would prefer to go with. So we'll come up with some screens, we'll share the screens with you. You can make your modification, make your input. You know what? I want the eyes in screen 1. I want you to put it in screen 2. I want the leg in screen 3, put it in screen 2. All those modifications, try and do them. And that's the screen they would like to go with. So this customer sometime last year was like, hey, Brittany, this is what we want. This is what we want to do. We think we prefer this screen. This is the design. Oh, in fact, with this screen, I'm sure in the next 5 years, we'll still be there in the market at top notch. I just looked at him. I said, not when technology is involved. And he thought it was a joke. So fast forward to this year, sometime last 2 months, if I'm not mistaken, last 3 months, he met me. He was like, Brittany, so I think this mobile app is looking old. And I reminded him of what he said that time. I thought he said it was going to last till eternity. So I made him understand that the truth is that this thing, technology evolves, and the more it evolves, the more you move with what is available in that particular space and time. So again, we found out that trying to build most of these products waste time for us as a company. So what we've intended on is to partner with some of these third-party providers. I'll speak about them maybe as we progress. We have the 2FA, two-factor authentication solution. We have the PFM. We have invite referrals. We have Telex, Gemalto, mobile app security. Also, what we have done is partner with them to roll out faster to our customers to optimize their mobile app. Again, we can come together with the bank to add new features to the mobile app to make it more robust and make it more sleek, if I must use. Then again, to optimize the services, ensure that the mobile app is up and running, because again, your customers can only feel very confident using your mobile app if it's totally optimal. Then the other one is the technology, like I spoke about, the UI UX design. It goes obsolete with time. You have to keep revamping, keep changing. As trends are coming up, it keeps changing, it keeps evolving. Then you have platform stability, okay? I've spoken about that. Then quality build, the kind of build you roll out to store. Are they buggy? Are they built that you roll out and customers start downloading and they're like, this one is not working, that one is not working, this is going on, that's not going on, Give rollouts optimal apps to store. Then we spoke about marketing. So for marketing, how you're able to send out the messages of what's new on your mobile app, how you're able to carry on your customers out there on what is new. Okay, so for instance, some mobile apps, you say, okay, we've come up with a feature called the onboarding feature where your customers can open up, non-customers can come to your mobile app and open a new account and carry out transactions. What does that do for you? That helps you bring in more customers, and again, reduces the amount of customers that walk in and saves you some money on the resources you have to employ to ensure they attend to those guys. So in return, getting the public know what is available out there will also help boost your business. Then again, business partnership, like I said earlier when I was talking about products, when you talk about establishing partnership with some of these third-party providers to ensure that the mobile app is optimal and again, you're able to serve your customers effectively and appropriately. Okay, sorry, I have this. So products, I'll try to be fast. Sorry. Brittany, what have you done? Okay, so product leadership. So basically what this is talking about is the kind of product you roll out there, your mobile app, how optimal is it? When you talk about the mobile apps that is reputable in the industry, because sometimes I see on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where they do some analysis. What bank do you think you can use when you don't want to be stranded? When you're trying to pay for something and you don't want to hear stories, what mobile app can you use? So it's a mobile app among those apps, that can do all this stuff. Then the tech leadership. So in the framework that the mobile app is built on, is it robust for us? For instance, we use the React Native framework. It is very sleek, it's very easy to roll out, and it's very easy to fix bugs in case there's any need for that to be done. Then again, the marketing tool, right? The marketing as a tool. Basically, this is speaking to the amount of money you roll out to get your customers on board this application. So most of the time we spend money on marketing with the intention of recouping those monies and extra and more, right? We call it return on investment, ROI, to ensure that whatever money you're putting in for this marketing, you're able to get in you're able to make good returns out of it. Then business as a driver, this is more like it for me. Everything we spoke about at the end of the day speaks to business as a driver, because in everything you do, the bottom line is you want to make money for your business. You want to increase the revenue for the company. You want to increase the bottom line for the company and also for the units which you represent. Okay, now, so I'll try to be a little selfish. I'll try to tell you about my business and what we do within Interswift. Mobile banking application. So basically, like I said, our mobile app is seamless, right? It's very easy to use. You don't even need a manual to use the mobile app we build. The technology in which the mobile app writes on, which I mentioned earlier, the React Native framework, is very easy for implementation. So in less than a few months, we're able to roll out your mobile app to store, and we're able to fix whatever bug you think you have on the app or you bring up. And again, our transactions are secured end-to-end because we do a whole lot of security checks. We have tools to ensure that your mobile app is secured end-to-end to avoid malware or all those fraud attackers. Then we have robust analytics embedded in it as well to give you an insight of what your customers are doing on your mobile app, so you can have a targeted engagement with them so that you can be able to serve your customers effectively. Because again, if you don't know what your customers are doing, even if you want to run any market campaign, how do you exactly know what I want? You can't be giving me a campaign that is meant for Dangote, for me, like buy a house in Ikoyi or do the save money to get a house in Ikoyi. Hello, how much is my salary again? So again, it enables you to do targeted marketing where you're able to carry your customers along. And there's this feeling it gives that my bank understands me, my bank is interested in me, my bank is interested in my well-being, apart from just holding my money, apart from just using my money apart from just holding up to my money. Again, they're interested in my growth and they want to help me grow. So this, we build an insight which shows you what your customers do on a day-to-day activities using the mobile app we implement. So again, so this speaks to, we have 3 different categories of mobile app, right? Again, we know, like they say, all fingers are not equal. We have different classes of MFBs and also commercial banks, right? Again, we found out in time that it won't be equity, it won't be fair for you to give cost that is meant for a commercial bank to an MFB. We think it's not cool. So what that enabled us to do is to draft out different frameworks which suit these different criteria or these different stratas of customers out there. So we have our bespoke application, we have our white label app application, we also have our banking as a service application. So I'll try to start with bespoke application because that's what is showing on the screen right now. So what this typically means is that we build your mobile, we tailor your mobile app based on your requirements. So you come to us and you tell us, oh, you know what? I want my mobile app to fly. I want it to have wings. I want it to look like a girl. I want it to look like a boy. I want to, all those specifics. I want the onboarding to be like this. I want the onboarding to be like that. I want my bills payment to be like this. You can come up with a list of extensive features you want to be available for your customers on your mobile app. And again, like they said, find food, na money kill 'em or something. Sorry, I don't know how that adage goes. Okay, food waste shit now. Oh God, my pigeon. I will get there. So basically, that's it. As it's tailored to suit your criteria, your requirement. That's how the money is as well. So I'll try to move to. So these are some of the features, but it is not limited to just this. So you have the communication, digital payment, lifestyle, traditional payment, loan self-service feature, fund transfer online, quick services, recurring payment, ad hoc, beneficiary management, card management, digital onboarding, biometric authentication, limit management. So again, this gives you an overview of what the framework I spoke about, the React Native framework. This is what the capability or the capacity, what it does, right? So it's the performance is fluid, like I said, clicking, it's responding. I want to send money right now, and the handy guy is calling me. Hi, Brittany, I need 10,000 naira from you. Your transactions moves as fast as possible, simplified. It has the native experience, it's versatile, it's budget optimization, and again, reliability, which is very important. That is what we prayed. Your mobile app, customers need to rely on it. Hello? They need to rely on your mobile app, right? Because that is how you get them constantly. Sure, it's not me. So basically that's it. So again, like I said, we had to break the product to different segments or to different stratas to meet every pocket, right? So here we're talking about the twin offering, that's the white label app and the mobile banking as a service solution. So I will move to. So I'll start with the white label app. So basically, white label app is a framework that we have designed internally to serve the regional MFBs, the state MFBs as well. Those guys that we know that they can pay some substantial amount of money for this product. So basically, what this does is that it gives you, it's a single tenancy application, right? So what that typically means is that it's the core banking. We develop the back end of the mobile app connects to your core banking, and again, you have a good visible number of features that you can expose to your customers. And again, we went further to break those features into two different categories. So we have the basic features and we have the jumbo features. Like we know when you hear basic means that the features are limited, but when you hear jumbo, it means that it has more robust features, right? But again, like I said, it is limited. It's not open-ended. And why this white label is good, again, is that you can improve on it. You can wake up tomorrow to say, okay, I think I can afford basic right now, and we'll go ahead to implement basic. And you come back to say, we've made enough money. We think we would like to improve the mobile app to the jumbo features, right? And we can go ahead to open up the mobile app to add in more features for you, right? And again, this particular feature or this particular bundle serves a good number of people, a good number of entity. Then I'll try to move to the mobile banking as a service. So this is the one that is very precious to my heart because again, this gives a sign of growth. This is simply for the unit MFBs. What does this do for you? So I don't know how many of us use the FEP system that Interswift offers today, where a couple of bank connects to a single application because they can't afford to get their own personal FEP solution. So that is what this framework is going to be like. So basically, different banks will connect to this framework at a very reduced amount. So you are going to be subscribing to it. You're going to be subscribing to this application, and you'll be paying a subscription fee on a yearly basis. with a very tiny amount, not compared to what you're going to pay if we're routing to white label mobile app or the bespoke application. So we went further to do some level of analysis to show you the difference. Is it me? Okay. So basically, the white label application is a single back end with multiple middleware and multiple front ends. So what this typically means is that we can design your mobile app with based on your look and feel. What do you want? How do you want the look and why do you want the UI to be? What's the flow? We can tweak it to suit the bank's desire. But while the banking as a service, what it does is that we don't tweak it based on the bank's requirements. So it's already a framework available. So what you do is you connect to it. And if we need to improve on this particular solution, we improve it across all board, right? Any improvement we do on the app, it reflects to every customer you have sitting on the application. So again, for the mobile banking, for the white label app, you have the implementation fee. That's the upfront fee, which you pay for us to implement the mobile app. And again, after the 1 year to the anniversary of the go live, you're meant to pay what we'll call the annual maintenance fee, or maybe the revenue share, depending on the agreement we had before we kickstarted the engagement around this. But again, for the banking as a service, we have what we call the one-off onboarding fee. And again, subsequently, you pay what we call the subscription fee. Then for white label, we have the features, like I explained, jumbo features and basic features. Why the mobile banking as a service, you have limited features. But again, we can assure you that all the features that are available in the mobile banking as a service feature are the core features every mobile app should have, which is the airtime, the bills payment, and the transfers with some other features. Oh my God. Okay, so I need to run because of time. Okay, so like I said, these are some of the features from the basic features. When you opt for the jumbo, you get more. And this is what we have for the mobile banking as a service feature. You can see they're limited, and it contains all the crucial features that you will be needing to make money as an organization. Okay, so like I said, we have a customer base spread across Africa. So apart from Nigeria, we have a presence out there. But again, I will show you what our screens look like. But again, remember that these screens are developed in conjunction with the bank. We don't unilaterally come up with screens. We get the bank's approval before we commence work with them. So this is for Providence Bank. This is Zenith. This is First Bank and its subsidiaries. This is Answer Insurance. Like I said, apart from financial institutions, we also deal with non-financial institutions. This is First Capital Bank. They're in Malawi and they have the subsidiaries across the country, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mozambique, and the rest of it. Coronation Merchant Bank, and Coronation Security and Coronation Merchant Bank. We have the NISA MFB. I know everybody knows this because they are the CBN MFB. We have Hasal as well. We have ASEAN MFB. And this is more like a straight glance of all the customers we have. No, some of the customers we have on our portfolio. I'll try to speak on the other offerings. So like I mentioned, apart from, I know some of us will start wondering, so if I have a mobile app, are you saying I should waste it or trade it away? No, if your mobile app is working, we have other means to support you. So we have other solutions which your mobile app can integrate into. So we have the internet banking, we have the capability and the capacity to develop internet banking for you. Also USSD as well, we do that implementation today. And we have the real-time communication platform. So what this automatically does for you is called RTCP for short, but the full meaning is real-time communication platform. So what it does for you is to enable you post notifications. It helps you push notification, do analysis, do deep linking, geofencing, and in-app adverts. I think one thing that might sound a little strange to everybody is the geofencing. So the geofencing bit of it is having to do a targeted advert to your customers. For instance, you have your customers, or you have First Bank. Okay, let me use an instance. First Bank is trying to partner with some lounge at the airport, and they're saying when you get to the airport at the executive lounge, you can get 5% discount for every drink or everything you do. You know, that kind of stuff, it gets people, or you get targeted notifications to your customers and they're able to enjoy the benefit that comes out of it. And we have the two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication, like the name says, second level security for your mobile app. In as much as everybody's super excited that technology, digital banking is the order of the day today, the hackers are not sleeping as well. They are every day they are trying to develop more ways in order to attack most of this application. So some of these security features can help you mitigate or avoid all those malware attacks. So the 2FA solution, it has the hardware token. I know everybody knows that the physical token you use for internal customers and external customers. You have your software token. Software token are the ones you generate on the mobile, you generate on your phone as an app, which you pull tokens out of. Then you have the in-app token. In-app token are the ones that are generated inside your mobile app. So your customers does not have to leave the app to go pull these tokens from elsewhere. So it's generated in the app and they use that to consummate their transaction. Then you have another one, which is the SMS based, whereby your tokens are sent to you via SMS or emails. Then last but not least is the Gemalto mobile app security. So basically what this does is that it's an SDK integrated to the mobile app that gives you a second validation, a second security to ensure that at every point in time, your mobile app is tightly secured and they are not jailbreaked by any of the malware or those man-in-the-middle attackers. So apart from that, it has some features, which is the web mobile commerce. It has the biometrics, that's the facial verification, for your onboarding feature on the mobile app, where your customers are able to open up, where your non-customers are able to open an account using your mobile app, and they can carry out substantial transactions because the bank has done some level of KYC verification on them. So basically that's it. I don't know if we have can I get like 2 minutes to speak about in-app advert? If I have 2 minutes to speak about the PFM solution. So basically what the PFM solution does is that it gives the bank an insight to manage their customers' activities. So you're able to track what your customers do on the app on a daily basis, and you're able to assist them. You're able to get involved in their day-to-day activity. You can target engage them as against spreading a general engagement across, and you can help them save, you can help them manage their fund, you can help them make money and also to save money. Then the invite referral, like we know, it's cheap. So this particular solution, what it does is the ability for I as a person, as an individual, I meet my brother, like they said, research have shown that what marketing is more efficient and it's more faster to get good conversion rate. So I can go to my brother and say, download the mobile app and you can tell your customer, use your code. Someone should use your code to download the mobile and you get some tippings. So this is at the bank's discretion. So you know how you want to compensate them based on your loyalty framework. So basically that's it. I'm sorry I took more than the time I was meant to, but again, I appreciate everyone for their audience. So we can ask questions if we have any.
All right, thank you very much, and a wonderful presentation. And when you now begin to think of the areas that were covered, very interesting topic areas that covered the critical growth drivers, product leadership, tech leadership, the mobile banking application, which was very exciting, and then also how you infuse the native application as well, and then how mobile banking is growing as a service. And I think just some wonderful topic areas to let you know what Interswitch is doing specifically. So if you have any questions that you would like in response to the presentation that you just saw, please just raise your hand and I'll go around. So you can just direct your question to the specific speaker. So yes, whoever the spirit moves, please go ahead. All right, I'll start with you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the presentation and thanks to Ebuchi for the presentation. I realized that security wasn't particularly mentioned, by the first speaker and by you as well, because that's a big concern when you're talking about payment or mobile app and all that. Then I'd like to understand better, is this mobile app as a service? Is it going to be like a marketplace where you have various, you can have various financial institutions have their mobile app there? So are you saying I log into a mobile app that is Interswitch and from there I can go to my particular, bank and finish up my transaction? Is this what mobile app as a service is talking about? So are you looking at it as, platform as a service, is that what this is all about?
Exactly, yes, that's what it is.
All right. And I think the final question is for existing customers that have a mobile app.
Okay.
You won't encourage them to,
Join their app, right?
So do you do like a consultancy thing for them to optimize their mobile app as well? Thank you. Did you get a last question?
Yes, I did. So basically, like I said, okay, can I move? Is it possible? Can I use this? Does it work? I want to point out a particular screen. I'm doing that, but it's not working. Okay, that's fine, no problems. Okay, maybe I'll just speak. Okay, like during my presentation, my presentation was broken into different line items. We talked about what growth means to you as an organization. We talked about how our mobile app can help you grow. And again, we talked about other products that we can bring on board. Like for some banks that already have an existing mobile app that is customers today, we have other products we can initiate, or we can sell, or we can engage you on. For instance, the 2FA security, the two-factor authentication security. We have the mobile app Jamal security. We have the invite referral. We have PFM. So there are numerous products we can engage in to help you drive growth. So we're not preaching you should junk your app if you think it's still optimal. But again, if it's not doing what it's meant to do, maybe it's the right time to start having that thought in your mind. But again, we have some other solution that we can bring on the table to help you drive growth, even as much as we're not the ones that built your mobile app. And I heard you mention something around, we're not talking about security. I think security, basically 2FA, two-factor authentication, is a security tool, and the Jamal tool, mobile app security, is also a security tool that will help add an additional layer of security on the mobile app, apart from the principal security the app comes with. I don't know if that answers your question. Oh, okay. So for that, okay, your question is, how does that work? What happens is that there will be a mobile app in store and your customers can download. So based on the customer that comes on board, the mobile app changes its look and feel to that particular organization's logo, screen, color design, and everything that ascribes to your organization is what your customer is going to see. So when Bank B comes on board the app, again, the Bank B will see their own personal mobile app. So it's not something that you have a universal app that your bank can come in to transact under Interswift logo. No. So it's a vanilla app that when your customers click in or get on board, they're able to see the bank's particular mobile app and they can transact based on the customer, based on the bank they're trying to transact under. I don't know if that did justice to your question. Okay, no problems. I'll be out there to have a further conversation.
Another question. Yeah, thanks. Okay, I'm Joseph Oladipo, Spectrum MFB. Thanks for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir.
My question still boils down on security. So if I'm to go for this service, does it include, when I say security, aside the two authentication factor, I'm talking of the stress test, performance test, vulnerability test, before we throw it live, before we even host it on Play Store. Okay. So do we have a team for this, or I still have to engage a third-party vendor?
Okay, definitely. Our mobile app. So within Interswitch, there's a particular team called information security. That's basically their job to do vulnerability scan across our mobile apps to ensure that they pass all the required tests before we roll them out to store. So this is more like a second layer, but the mobile app comes with a tight mobile app security that will ensure that you can't be jailbreaked. You can, like I said, our mobile app is not an app that I can talk to you on the fly. There are apps in store, and I believe your customers to some of these banks, so you have an experience in them. So apart from just making conversation up high or high level conversation, you can play around with these mobile apps in store. Thank God most of them have the onboarding feature, which non-customers can log into the mobile app, create an account, and play around the mobile app. So it is securely, it's up. In fact, that's what we preach. That is what drives us, and that is what gives us an edge compared to other competition we have out there.
Thank you. Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
My name is Afsat Ekuti, MPF Microfinance Bank.
MPF, sorry, what's the full meaning? Apology.
Okay, Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank.
Okay.
But we play down on the meaning because we really belong to everybody. So you don't see me as a policewoman. Okay. Thank you for the presentation. It's really wonderful. The first speaker, the second, and yourself. We are actually integrated to Interswift, but we've not enjoyed your service. When the first speaker and the second speaker spoke, I also wanted to speak until they said we should keep it, but bringing this one on board again is still to the same thing. When we wanted to choose who we develop our mobile app, I had a conversation with my then relationship manager and said, we have this. Yes, but because of the project that we did with you, that we didn't see the light of the day, my management was like, do you want to put your head in this again? Haven't you gotten enough headache that you want to add to it again with mobile app? That's why we drop Interswift.
Apologies about that.
So you really need to do a lot. Nobody will not be interested in seeing all these beautiful products we are rolling out. Everybody will be interested because that is where everybody is moving to now, financial services. But as Interswift, you have them, but delivering to customer. I have a product that was supposed to have been on pilot for over 1 year now, not be able to really roll out because of the service we are getting from you.
Okay, I will start by.
I just want to bring that out. For the 2FA, you have answered the question that those that have a system, they can really engage to have that. And so thank you.
Okay, so I'll start by, thank you for your question. I really can understand how you feel because apart from seven other organizations, I also require services from some other organizations. So I can understand the frustration you feel. And I would like to start by apologizing. We sincerely apologize. And again, like the other speakers said, that is why we're having this session, right? To elicit and to get the pinpoint of our customers and to ensure we improve. Like they say, growth or improvement is consistent. It's something we continue doing. We'll continue working on from time to time until time immemorial. That's our goal. But if I may ask, which particular solution are you referring to here? So we can have a deep dive on what the issue could be. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we need to have a conversation. You know what? Maybe, I don't know. I will allow you to listen to every other presentation we have on the table, but I'll just be out there and we'll have a conversation. But I think it's something we can work around. It's a conversation we can have. And I know there should be a sales representative that is assigned to your entity. So we can work with the person in question to ensure that your services are optimal. And again, we establish or we revalidate or we regain a happy customer, because again, when you're happy, we're happy. And that is basically it for us. So once again, on behalf of Interswift and the businesses you were interacting with, we apologize. Those that have cost me a deal with you, but we look forward to doing more with you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Okama, General Microfinance Bank. Yeah, when you are talking, you mentioned cost to mobile banking. Then my question is, if a bank integrates with Interswift,
okay,
the to roll out mobile banking from Interswift, does it attract additional costs, or it has to be incorporated into subscription for Interswift integration?
Sorry, can you take the question again? It's not clear.
If a bank integrates with Interswift.
So when you say integrate to Interswift, what does that mean?
VPN connection with Interswift.
VPN connection on what exactly?
On the products.
Which products?
I think the integration should cover certain products which Interswift offers. Like cards.
So she has just clarified FEP, right? That's what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay, ASP.
FEP. Does it need additional cost for mobile banking rollout?
Oh, yes, please. They are two different products altogether. So the ASP is a different product on its own. The mobile product is also a different product on its own. So it is
On
different.
the contrary, can mobile banking rollout be done without integrating with Interswitch?
Without integrating to Interswitch on what exactly?
Can mobile banking rollout be done for a bank?
Yes, of course, we can. We can. So basically what we need
is,
do you have a core banking system today?
I'm asking is, we have. What I'm asking is this. I have a third-party provider that a service provider handles our digital banking. And assuming I want to change.
Oh, yes, of course.
And use your own mobile banking. Can I come directly to you to handle that part?
Of course.
Without
I get you. I get the question, but the answer is yes, you can, as long as you have your core banking system, because that is what those are the services that the mobile app will be communicating to. Those are the services we will consume in order to make those features, these beautiful features you saw on the screen, available for your customers. So yes, you can. It's something you can do.
All right,
so in as much as we're all Interswitch, but we operate on different businesses. So that works.
All right, thank you very much. We'll just take one more question before we wrap up and go to the next section. One more question. All right.
Okay, thank you. My name is Dennis Omorosege from Personal Trust Microfinance Bank. I want to have a comment as well as a question. The comment first. You are not new to the microfinance space. You know that everything is as a service. So the core banking is also as a service. 75% of microfinance banks are in a particular banking software by AppZone.
Core banking application.
Yes, by AppZone, Bank One. So what effort have you made to integrate to this core banking? So that when one of the microfinance banks just come and say, I need this mobile app, you don't need to go through the full gamut of implementation, writing the APIs again. That is the first question.
Okay. Victor wants to take the question. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, you're right. The Bank One infrastructure have a lot of microfinance bank connected to them. The business strategy is different. When you say integration, we have some of our product and services connected to that infrastructure, from your quick teller and many other things there. For some of you using it, you use some of our products on that platform. So while we are partners, we also compete in other areas too. You understand? So when you say, why are we not integrated? They are connected to us in some product and services we offer to them. Then you said something about, if you look at the first presentation, I think my colleague Susan did the presentation, which will respond to some of the questions he was asking. So because it's an omnichannel platform, you can take it end to end, or you take if you have a CBA, she said something, it can integrate into your existing infrastructure. So one of the things most people have done, they've invested a lot in their legacy system. Sometimes they have this build buy decision when it comes to core banking infrastructure. So we're saying, don't worry. Our platform is agnostic. So we can plug into what you have. We run, even our mobile services too, irrespective. We have many banks too using the mobile services with different CBA, even the CBA you are also mentioning. So it's not a problem. It all depends on what you want to achieve. But we're saying that this is the platform. What do you want to do with it? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you all very much for your wonderful questions. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you. Thank you very much, Brittany.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me.
All right, put your hands together for Brittany. Thanks. All right, thank you. So I'll hand back over to my colleague, Educator, to continue. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Nwaji, and thanks, Brittany, for that wonderful presentation. Continuing, we would talk about VEV. You have it there on the screen, Africa's payment token. You all would agree with me that VEV is one of our biggest, brands as Interswitch. Of course, it's the biggest card scheme in Nigeria and by extension, actually Africa, globally accepted as well. So you can use your VEV cards in Dubai, you can use it in New York, and so many other places around the world. So I'm going to invite Abiodun to come and talk to us about VEV and its digital offerings. Please make Abiodun welcome. All right, so Abiodun is the team lead for VEV Digital. I think you don't need any other person to talk to you about VEV other than Abiodun. Abiodun, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Just trying to be sure that this is working. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. We've seen a few presentations earlier, and I'm very certain that VEV is not new to the stakeholders here. So we know for everyone in the room, you possibly have VEV cards being issued in your bank, or you are about to issue VEV. So we'll just show you just a few reasons why you should consider VEV as your preferred option for now. We're all in Nigeria. We understand the challenge we have around FX. We understand the constraints around servicing other card scheme with FX-based pricing. Even though you may hear promises that it will come in Naira to you, but further down the line, the conversion will still end up somewhere in FX. And we know where the direction of CBN is around sourcing FX and all that. So, but we would show you a bit of that and end up in some of the digital offerings that VEV would also like you to consider. So just to a quick run through, who are we basically? So VEV, it's Pan-African. It started from Nigeria, and we've been able to grow to become an EMV card. We're certified by EMV. We also are part of the PCI Council. So we sit on that board as well to make one or two suggestions based on the peculiarity of our environment. And our value proposition basically is to just be the cheapest card scheme everywhere we go. So across all the geography where we are today, in 13 countries where we're issued in the local currency of that country. Where we have acceptance, we've also struck partnerships to ensure that the pricing is localized to that environment. So we don't want to give you a service in a certain country and we want to bill you in USD at the end of the day. So our partnership across these areas where you see today, across Africa, is all localized in the currencies of this environment. So far with your support, coming on the network, we've been able to grow to about 51 million tokens today, both physical and virtual. And also we have about 700,000 contactless cards also issued. So I know you, in your mind, you'll be like, oh, so where are we using this contactless? So we have the feature, we have the system already built. So it's a chicken and egg situation that just in case the infrastructure around contactless comes up. Government has promised a lot of buses that will do tap in, tap out. They've promised toll gates, they've promised trains and some other major infrastructure, but we have made it available already. At the time those infrastructure comes to life, the typical VEV card should be able to, upon issuance, you should have that feature to have the contactless capability. Okay, So part of our proposition, like we've said, is to ensure that transactions are seamless, and also in terms of your pricing, we would try as much as possible to work with the capacity that you have. Some of the presentations you've seen earlier in terms of the shared infrastructure, the shared mobile app infrastructure, just basically to help you drive low cost. And for everything we're building at Interswift, basically, cost is one of the major concerns. So for MFBs today, and the likes of the fintechs also coming into the space under the umbrellas of MFB, we understand the cost implication. I mean, we know what it takes for a full-fledged bank to deploy an FEP today in the range of 450,500,000. But because you will not have that based on your categorization, we understand where low cost is. So for our card issuance as well, both the physical and the virtual, and some of our digital offerings, we understand the cost implication and how cost sensitive your business is. So we're trying as much as possible to ensure that we stay within that mandate that we're preaching. So we would always remain cheaper than any other card scheme in Nigeria. And even though we were also ensuring that we're going to offer you the same thing that they do across channel, and if possible, much more. So someone spoke about consultancy earlier. So we do sit down with clients sometimes just to ask a few questions around what is your strategy into the market. We know a few MFBs who came into the market initially and quickly positioned some international card scheme. Maybe that was going to be a better positioning, but I'm sure further down the line, when the cost implication of those card schemes came through, they had to quietly pull them out of the market and consider some other option. So these are some of the strategies we do when we sit down with you to let you see the market segmentation, to understand where your real customers are based on where you sit today, to understand the kind of card scheme that you need to position. We're not saying you shouldn't invest in having those other international card schemes, but where is the main focus for you? Where is the main customer that you want to address? Where do they sit today? Where are they and all that? And what card do you think will address that market whilst you're trying to look and also be at par with the other big players in the market? So we've looked at the different segmentation. We've looked at what card schemes should fit into this pyramid. And we do this from time to time to sit with banks to understand their strategy, how you're playing. If you want to do a purely digital bank offering, we can sit with you to understand your strategy, to understand some of the products that you would need at the minimum that you can leverage on the mobile app, you can leverage on the shared FEP infrastructure that Susan talked about earlier, and how you can gradually begin to go into market with that cost sensitivity at the back of your mind. So the real focus that we want to have here today is some of the digital offerings that Verve would like to show you. You'd all agree with me that across Africa and how we've seen Nigerian markets specifically, Nigeria has skipped a lot of technology in just a few years. My experience in the US, Max Stripe is still available till today as we speak. In some countries, they are, even in the UK, they don't even understand what USSD transfer means. They don't know it. But in Nigeria, you have done Max Stripe, you have done chip and pin, you have done mobile app, you have done USSD, you have done, there's a new one on the ATM now. What was it called? Biometric. So QR code, thank you. There's NQR. Central Bank has said we should do speed wallets. So you can see the number of options that has been made available in just one market. Cross the border to semi-border there, just in Cotonou there, they are probably, they are still struggling with POS because they have a regional block called GU Memoir that sits in Senegal. Before you deploy POS, you need to go and get approval from Jim. Jim will tell you, oh, to implement POS, you have to go through ABC. That project can take 4 or 5 years. But just cross back into Nigeria, under every umbrella, you see POS, everybody giving cash. So in Nigeria, the market is open, the market is receptive. There's a lot of technologies coming through. People are deploying different things and it's working. So based on that experience, we have agreed that, yes, this is Nigeria and technologies are moving very fast. So at Verve as well, we can't afford to be behind. So we're looking at the different options. We've also seen cryptocurrency. Yeah, we also understand regulation is not happy about it or they have their own view about it. We know that this may come in the future. So we're already exploring a few things that may likely also work with Verve in that capacity. We've looked at USSD, contactless payments, and we've looked at biometrics and what have you. So we're very much aware of how things are moving very fast in Nigeria. And in some of those environments where we feel they are very conservative, before they skip one technology, it could take them 10 years. They would research, bring stakeholders to the table, look at it carefully. What are the pros? What are the cons? What would likely happen if we take out Stripe and we start using chip and pin? What would happen if we start using our biometrics to pay? What would happen? So some countries, they do this framework carefully. They bring stakeholders to the table like we're doing here to get feedback, go back again to watch their product development that, oh, what's the impact of this? What market are we trying to address? What problem are we solving, in essence? So they do that research for a very long period of time. But in Nigeria, we don't have patience. We want things now as it's happening. If I send a USSD, if it fails, I'm already calling. I don't even want to hear stories. So now. So, but in the UK, they are okay with transfers taking 24 hours. There's no news about it. They're not worried. But if you transfer in Nigeria, if you don't see it in 1 hour, okay. Instant. So immediately. If it doesn't happen, somebody Interswift, my money is hanging. Please go and check that transaction. I've logged it on your portal. So the environment is different and we understand that peculiarity and we must work with it. So that's why we're trying as much as possible to see how we meet the market at the point of its need, the customers also at the point of its need. Don't blame customers every time they are agitated. It's the different options that is available they are working with. If the environment has not moved beyond a certain technology, everybody will stay there. But because it's open and everybody is playing, so we just have to move along or you are left out. So one of the products we'll talk to you about today is Paycode. Paycode is our cardless solution. So what does Paycode really mean? It's the ability for you to digitize cash. You can just turn cash into a token, 10 to 12-digit token, take it to the ATM, take it to the POS, and very, very soon we're working closely with our super agent, the quick teller PayPoint agent. Also, that will be available. I was hoping one of the super agents would also be in the room. They've also expressed interest to be one of our pilots on that service. So, which means from the USSD front end, from your mobile app, from your internet banking, you can generate that 10-digit code. You can go to the ATM to take cash. You can text it to somebody with the PIN, and the guy can go to the ATM to take cash. You can also take it to the POS in store to make payments. So Paycode today has been around for a while, but we're expanding the channel gradually to ensure that it's going to go across network. Just to give you a sense of the number of ATMs where Paycode is accepted today, we have over 20,000 ATMs on the Paycode network. We have 35,000 POSs. We're going to have another session with PTSPs only. These are the guys powering terminals. So everybody, we want to ensure that the Paycode application is on the download is on their terminal, so that if you go in store, if you go to any where you find a terminal, Paycode should be one of the options after your current your savings. The next one should be pay code for you to take cash. We have banks. So these 23 banks include both commercial banks, MFBs, and the fintechs, also in conjunction with MFBs working with us. We have corporates using this to disburse funds for campaigns and promos. Also, we have MMOs also trying to come in. Based on the download we have on ATMs today, so minimum amount on the ATM you can take out is 1,000 naira. Then also, because of the cashless policy and how banks have also reduced how much you can take out on the ATM, the maximum you can take out, we've left it at 20,000. Even though we see that some banks are still doing 10,000 at their ATM, but give or take, let's just leave it at 20K, worst case. So just a simple step, if you integrate into our mobile banking suite that Brittany had already talked about earlier, we can design your interface to support pay code. VFD is here, so VFD is already on that service. I know Abbey Mortgage is also trying to integrate into that service, and a few other. We also got OPay. OPay is in project right now. So a lot of people are already coming because for them, across their agency network, it saves them the cost of POS. Once they integrate into the service, the agent under the umbrella only needs a mobile phone to consume pay code and can hand over cash. So that's expense of having your agents across Nigeria to have POS terminals as another investment is totally taken out. So you can consider our mobile banking option, and pay code can be part of the menu that will be on that application, and you can roll it out to all your network for cash in, cash out, and all that. So, okay, just to give you just a few banks, that are already on the network today. Some are in project, they're not yet completed. And if you look closely, you find out that, some of the MFBs are here and also who have completed our project, and they're really, really using this, to open up new markets for themselves. So we're available to engage if you want to express your interest to know more about pay code and how your bank can also be integrated to this service. So second thing I would like to talk about also is, we know you all have cards, but we found out some of the MFB cards don't do online transaction. Could there be a reason for that? Maybe, would it be a security challenge, or is it the education or the awareness around it? So we also saw that there's need for your two-factor authentication projects also to be implemented. As part of your project, when you're coming on board our shared FEP project, when you're being onboarded into Interswift, they give you a safe token project. But I think it comes with a manual upload on PayDirect. What we've also seen is there's a lot of iteration rates. Maybe some people feel the MFB business hasn't been paying them more. The MD is here, they can bear us witness. MFB in its definition, they don't have that big money that you're looking for, that the likes of the big banks will pay you, but they are going somewhere. But thank God for fintech that has now joined forces with MFBs, and they're also collecting seed funds of hundreds of millions of dollars. The game has changed. So we've seen people leave commercial banks to go to this so-called MFB to go and earn bigger money. He's laughing already, they know. So we've seen people going there to collect bigger bucks now. So this so-called MFB that we used to know, they've changed. They now pay good salary to people now, and they're comfortable. So with the injection of fintech funds that is coming through, so we feel in the light of that, online transaction should also be a focus for the bank. And what do you need to have a successful online transaction? You need a two-factor authentication. It's part of our mobile banking suite. However, if you have your mobile banking application from elsewhere, it's still open for you to integrate. Basically, it's just putting a layer in line with CBN's guideline. It's putting another layer on your card not present transaction. So when I'm present at somewhere with my card, all I need is to put the PIN on ATM and POS, I can walk away. But if I'm doing a transaction where it has to be online, they can't see me physically there. So CBN has said there must be a second level factor. So Verve today offers a second level factor. We have APIs. You can integrate into the APIs to enroll all your cards. And at every point in time, you do a transaction, you can use this to give them the assurance that there's always a second level factor to validate that transaction. So the security is quite tight. We can boast that Verve card in the industry has the lowest risk in terms of card fraud. The industry experts are here. We report all our fraud as an industry. So you can't hide your fraud under the table. So if you have card fraud, please go and check CBN's report. Check where Verve cards is. And you can see that from other card scheme, Verve has the lowest. And those lowest, if you drill further down, they could be, it could be something within the system that somebody tried to maybe profile a card to do that form of fraud or something within, if you look closely sometimes. So we can categorically tell you we have the lowest, or if not, no fraud at all on Verve cards. This is the final slide I'll leave you with. In the light of the digitization and the digital journey of Nigeria, so we know the mobile is where the next game is. So for a lot of people who may not see, I haven't seen a banking hall per se. VFD is one of my bank. So Taufik knows that I don't even know where VFD office is. I know I've gone there as Interswift to come and ask you guys to do one or two things in 2019. But from 2019 till date, this is almost the end of the year. I don't know where your office is, but I have your app and I'm doing transactions and I'm fine. I don't even know my account officer, but I know I talk to her on phone to say, oh, do this, do this, do this. But I don't know where your branch is, but I'm doing transactions and I'm fine. So your mobile will be your next best thing that will happen to you as a bank. And to put a lot of features there, it will help you. So virtual card is one of the features that we think you should also have in your mobile banking suite. Just in case another pandemic happens, you are not losing out from card issuance. Commercial banks had that dip between March 2020 and May 2020. No card issuance. The few card issuance was just because everybody was on total lockdown. But so that request now came that, guys, just in case this happens again, can we begin to have people, can we give them option within their mobile banking application that can issue them a new card? So for those who had cards that were still valid, no issues. But for the people that their card expired about March, when we went on lockdown, they couldn't get a new plastic till May. So that 2 months interval, they had to rely on either transfers or transfer to somebody or USSD. And that's the beauty of Nigeria. We have options. So think of a market where the only thing you have is your card. And there was a lockdown for 2 months. So we are trying to say, please consider the virtual card offering. The virtual card offering gives you option to issue cards to your customer at a reduced rate, maybe 200 Naira or thereabout card issuance fee, and it's available in their mobile banking suite. They can use the same card to generate a pay code to do cash out. They can use that card to make online payments. They can also explore the possibility of, making transaction on some of the international merchants that we're partnering with. This offer comes with a QR option. It comes with the safe token option. And it's also open for some of the rewards that you hear Verve do across country. When we do our free-for-all promo for the year, if you go to any of those participating fuel station, virtual card transactions would also be accepted. So just something small from Verve to show you around digital products and some of our offerings. We'd like to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abiodun. Please, can you clap for Abiodun again? It's so interesting to, listening to him and all the cool things that Interswift is actually doing. This is one of the brands that I'm very proud of. It's wholly Nigerian, if you like, that you can take, just about anywhere. So we've talked about the pay code, we've talked about the 2FA, we've talked about the virtual cards. What it then means is you can transact just about from anywhere, from any part of the globe. So it's time for you to put Abiodun on the hot seat and ask your questions. Okay. Okay. Ladies first. I'll come to you shortly.
Thank you very much, Abiodun, for the lovely presentation. My first question is, there's been a disruption, PSP, and it has come to stay. Unfortunately for likes of Interswift, these guys have huge market. You're talking about MTN having 90 million, Airtel and all that. And I know you've been trying to, or rather you've come up with a mitigation plan to say there's a virtual card and all that. Is that enough? I think Interswift should start thinking more, And my final question is, I know a lot of people have talked about service, upward the services. I think it would be nice for Interswift to tell the stakeholders what the bottleneck is, what the improvement plan is, and how you would try and ensure, just give them a bit of comfort. I think that would go a long way. And finally, I know you talked about Nigeria being, maybe like one of the largest markets you've heard and all that, and the instant disruptions you see in payment, in tech, in financial institutions. Regarding this Verve card thing, I was just thinking when you were giving your presentation, would you, you know how they say in business school, bottom of the pyramid has the biggest, return on investment and all that. Would you think of maybe like personalizing this? I know you want to build the brand Verve, but then again, when you're building that brand, you should also think about the customer. Some customers will feel very comfortable having a bit of, them in your brand as well. So are you thinking in that direction to say, yes, Verve is there, but I can actually customize this to have Verve, Biodun or Verve, you know what I mean? So, I mean, Biodun being an institution now. So that's what I want to think about. Thank you.
All right. So let me start from the last question. So in terms of co-brand, yes, we're very open to co-brand with partners. We have our marketing and communication experts here. So I'm sure they've noted that. So we're very open to co-brand where we look at what the nature of the partnership is. What does the co-brand, I mean, if it's not a trademark we're infringing on, and if it's within the permissible guideline for card issuance or for whatever kind of partnership we're having, we're very open to do that. I mean, we didn't show some of the prepaid slides where we've co-branded with a lot of other entities beyond the financial institutions today, but we do that very well. So we're very open. Yeah, so second question about PSB. Well, like I said, Nigeria is a very peculiar market and we're happy to be here. So because we've seen how technologies have been, we haven't finished using one, we have gotten to another one. The interval between the speed wallet of the central bank and when MTN and Airtel license was released was less than 2 months or 3 months, weeks intervals, because CBN launched the speed wallet October, it was supposed to launch October 1, then they moved it forward. And 2 weeks after then, I'm seeing WhatsApp flying around with MTN and Airtel, PSB in the market. So whilst you understand the strength and the might that these networks are coming with into financial services, I'm sure a clear guideline, CBN is also watching. So they gave that guideline out to say you can do PSB. So PSB, local transactions only, You can't do outward. You can't do this. You can't do that. So I'm very careful. We're looking at that market. I don't want to commit to any statement, but I'm sure the concern you have, commercial banks have that concern as well, because like I mentioned, it's going to be a strictly mobile play. So the networks, USSD cost is the list of their cost. And banks have already pegged USSD cost at maybe 6 naira, 7 naira, 8 naira or thereabout for every session that you do. So in my mind, I was wondering that, okay, what will happen to retail banking? So that concern is there, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. In terms of giving comfort to what are we doing? We're doing so much. So this is part of it. Some of the concerns that you heard on the table today, we're trying to put them in and see how do we break these things down. Let's see if we address these things from what are the issues around switching, what are the issues around operations, what are the issues around technology. The company secretary talked about legal agreement. Why is it taking that long? So those feedback, somebody's taking notes. So we're hoping to go back and see how we can take all these learnings and improve on service delivery. Also, you're aware, central bank is not allowing us rest. So in terms of audits, they are always coming around. So part of this feedback is also to help us see from CBN's perspective, they're giving us their audit concerns. We're meeting with you to discuss, you've given us your concerns. How do we then separate these things to see how we improve our service delivery? Thank you.
Thank you, Abiodun.
Okay, good afternoon, Abiodun. My name is Felix, like I already mentioned earlier. I work with African leading mortgage bank, Abbey Mortgage Bank. And I think I didn't say this before. I'm also the coordinator of the e-business in mortgage banks. So my question is centered around this. Looking at the card business in general, over time, by analysis and by checks that I've done, it's not been profitable. And when you look at MFBs and OFIs, one major challenge we have is we are majorly issuers and not acquirer. So as such, the card has not been a profitable business. And yeah, Verve is cheaper when you compare vis-a-vis in the market. So of course, it makes a whole business sense to stick with Verve than with the other one, card scheme. But however, there is this CBN, this thing around first 3 transactions where you have to bear the cost, and those things are heavy, on us. So where my question is going to is, so what is Verve doing, to help subdue this cost so that it can help us drive this market very well? Because this cost is a huge factor. I look at my P&L when it has to do with a card, and I see that it's in loss. And almost everything associated to almost everything I want to do has to do with cost. So looking at it from the scheme perspective, how can you help reduce this so we make card a profitable business? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Felix. Whilst I agree with you, card business across banks today, from my experience back 2008, thereabout, if you start a new card business, I can assure you that in the first 3 years, you're going to be at a negative. But as you grow your volumes, you can then gradually climb into that where you are breaking even before you can then recognize profit. So card business is quite sensitive, and the regulation around it is where the major constraint is. The cost of card issuance has been pegged at an amount, despite all the other associated costs that is around issuing cards today. Also, the cost that you've seen on the table around processing ATM withdrawals, it's coming directly from regulation as well. So the question whether Interswitch can also help is only, so that's why we've presented other alternatives like pay code, virtual card, on how we can drive customers' behavior to those digital channels, because regulation says you must leave those 3 transactions free every month, meaning for you to do this business, you must have a payable that would take care of those costs on a monthly basis. The other banks in their capacity can look at fees from other areas they can use to take care of that payable when they come. As much as you cannot tell customer where to do transactions or where to withdraw, where not to withdraw, you just need to anticipate that they will do withdrawals anyway, and I will get this cost at the end of the month. However, you can act like VFD and text, do a lot of communication, tell us to use Paycode, tell us to use other channels. Paycode, by the way, irrespective of the entity in the value chain, everybody gets a share of the surcharge. So you as an issuer, if you're going to do Paycode, for instance, there's also an income line for you there. My advice is that payable will remain there. You will keep paying as customers go to do withdrawals. But can we begin to do an awareness and maybe some sort of education to let customers know that there are alternatives. There are alternatives to doing ATM withdrawals, because even the big banks, they complain of this payable. Think about the banks with 6 million cards, 7 million cards. Think of how much they pay out when customers don't care. They just look for the nearest ATM, take money there, and off they go. I think at some point, some don't even bother if this is my first or 2 or 3 transactions. They just withdraw. So, but to the guy looking at the cost and that line that, oh, how many of my customers are going to these other ATMs? I think those are the people concerned. So subtle advice would be, let's begin to do some sort of education or awareness drive with customers to see how we can migrate or change their behavior to alternative channels. Thank you.
Yeah, please, I'll take just 2 more questions. The speakers all are available for you to interact with them during break and during lunch that will come at the end of the program. So please, I crave your indulgence just so that we can move forward. So I'll take this gentleman and the other one right there, and then we go for our tea break. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Akugu Augustine Sunday from Leshego Microfinance Bank. I am the e-channel support manager. My question is on, for some time now, we've been having issues with uploading cards on Smart ID, some card with some special prefix. We've been having issues with it, and up to now, it has not been resolved. So I don't know what we're doing about it. I know we have some communication around it and been told that it's been worked on. And up to now, we are still having that issue. And it's really giving us a cause of concern. Thank you.
All right. Can you let Ario just respond to that?
Okay, Ario.
Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so with the question that you asked or the concerns that you have around the Smart ID, we're aware of these challenges, you understand, and I don't know the last time you used them. I mean, based on the one you made mention concerning the prefix and everything like that, to the best of my knowledge, I believe that has been resolved, you understand. I mean, when we created the platform, what everybody was using before was the SFTP. Obviously, there were challenges around the SFTP. So that's why we created this Smart ID. Yeah, there were some couple of issues, and then the knowledge gap were there. But I think in the last 1 month, we've been able to streamline most of these issues. So, but if there are anyone here is still experiencing, please, we'll be available to take the feedback, you understand, and then pass it on to the platform managers. But for now, I know most of the issues, if not all, have been resolved as of now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ario. The last question before we take our stretch break, please.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Olumide from CompuJane and Easy Financials. In 2017, I was working with Safaricom, on a big project in Kenya and Telcom. And even though the CBN has given this, I mean, these telcos the license for PSB, but one of the biggest challenge that I've seen is like M-Pesa. To me, M-Pesa cannot work in Nigeria because of the security of the security risk in Nigeria. Even normally, if you go to a restaurant now, and sometimes you get fake alerts. And that's a big issue in Nigeria. And every Nigerian would prefer to have a card. I believe my grandfather would prefer to have a card to make a payment or withdraw something, not to get an SMS alert or transfer using a code. So I still believe there's a big business for us in the card business. Because whether you like it or not, whether the telcos have the license, but they can't create their own card themselves, or there'll be another something. I believe there's a way we can work with these telcos in this card production and distribution at the end of the day. So my view is, if there's a way Interswift is positioned to work with these people, and we can work with you to be able to take this thing to the people that need it. Because for my own 2 years of research, it's not possible for I feel, personal view, and my research, it's not possible for M-Pesa, something like M-Pesa, to work in Nigeria, because Nigeria is a different market on its own because of the security in Nigeria.
Thank you, Olumide.
Sorry, thank you.
Oh, okay.
So I was just asking him, you need to look at the population and your market. So you're saying your grandfather, I mean, what's the population of the people that are old compared to people that want to use a card now? One of the presenters said, look, people are like on the go, they want it now. I think Biodun also said that. So you should look at your market and say to yourself, is my niche the old people or the youth that is like almost 70% of the population of Nigeria? Thank you.
We can continue with this conversation during the stretch break. Okay. Abiodun, do you still have more to say?
No, I think it's fine. We can take it offline.
All right. So thank you so much for your questions. Abiodun, thank you so much for your presentation. Again, I'd like to say a big thank you to all our customers and would-be customers here. I know a couple of names have been mentioned, but I'd like to state that the likes of Moz MFB is here. Channel MFB is here as well. Rigo MFB, we'll see you. Titan Trust Bank, Spectrum, Zenith Insurance, Access Matrix. So the list goes on and on and on. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And we're happy to, of course, go on this 5-minute stretch break and then reconvene at what time? 12:30. Okay, so it's about 13 minutes stretch break. Please, let's keep the conversation going. The speakers are all available to interact with all of us. Thank you, and see you in 13 minutes.
I really want to tell you how my day went. Really want to spend the weekend. I for sure you this thing I'm feeling. Oh yeah. But I really want to kiss you in my face. And maybe every other place, baby. It be like say I don't remember say
We can go there if I want to, but me, I don't know why I think I love you when I don't really know you that well. We can go there if you want to, but me, I don't know why I think I love you when I don't really know you that well.
I'm too polite to insult your intelligence. Why do I believe that we have met? Maybe not in this life. Time's frozen for a second, so I'm thinking tonight. We break the ice, and better still, we can set to decide. Temporarily, my temperature is telling me that you got me so hot. Stop, girl, there is no remedy. But you don't know me well enough to reply. And I don't really know you that well. It's funny, you have something in your teeth, but would you try to stop me? If I want to take it out, cause you don't know me properly. Girl, I think you're lovely, but you turn this bad boy into a busy boy. I see you're too busy for me. Or maybe I'm just busy for me. When you call me, when you're ready for me. It's crazy, baby, how I don't care at all. Then I don't really know you that well.
I really wanna tell you how my day went.
How my day went.
Really want to spend the weekend. I for sure you this thing I'm feeling.
Oh yeah, but I don't really know you that well.
I really wanna kiss you in the face,
baby.
And maybe every other place, baby. You be like, say I don't remember, say I don't really know you that well.
We can go there if you want to, but me, I don't know why I think I love you when I don't really know you that well. We can go there if you want to, but me, I don't know why I think I love you when I don't really know you that well.
So you be my controller. See me, see this parola. I just wanna come home to you, spend every night telling bad jokes to you. Be my boyfriend, I'll be my boyfriend. Jeans. I go baby with my boyfriend. Jeans. If you want my boyfriend, I'll be my boyfriend. Dreams. But
how did I fall in the first place? You too bad, you did bust brain. I don't feel like at all, I can't lie. You make me feel good in the worst way. I'm so many plenty girls that I know, but I still feel the same. I don't like this feeling. What can I do to make it go away? I don't like this feeling. What should I do if you don't? I'm losing patience, and it doesn't make sense. It needs to go away. I don't like it feeling.
Set your body free. Leave your situations at the door. So when you step inside, jump on the floor. Let's get it crunk up. Let's get crunk up in this dancery. We got y'all moving, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolating. Rock it, rock it, rock it.
I was weak when you said it had to go. Teardrops crying like a mighty flow. But you turned around and said that you love me so. How could I let you go? Oh no, 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 no. Sorry I make you cry. Let's talk about those days and now we used to play. Hey. I'll rewrite my wrong. Girl, you know, say now your love, I they always they think of, hey, hey. Think about you to make you see. Think I love for you when I real. Baby, it's right here, right here, right here. Baby, it's right here. I don't pay for this game, you'll be Tuesday. Don't let your love walk away. Baby, it's right here, right here, right here. Baby, it's right here.
I be king, I'm the best my generation ever seen. I came suddenly, I be like Nepa Bing. I never since, I never miss. I be smashing, I be killing everything. From the Keja to Juju and like that bitch. To the many places that I've never been. Remember this, I'm a king. I'm a legend, they're making, I'm a champion. Remember this, I'm a king. I'm a legend, they're making, I'm a champion. Remember this, I'm a king. I'm a legend, they're making, I'm a
super good. Hey, I be finding silver lining where the mother said I need patience and due time, and I be reclining by design. I've been grinding for my needs. Butter whip to give my nephew, put them diamonds on my knees, shining so dope that I purchased 88 keys for mama to play a song and call my ADHD. With this baby face fine, yeah, them really hate me. Get them belly aches, love them waist deep. Every occasion I put money in safe keep. Very impatient, be on time when you pay me. Very evasive when they hating what they see. Made me a nation, then they crown me as their king. Bell rings and then my hands are raised. MGM Grander Mandalay. Envy him now while my victory has just begun. When you see me, just know you looking at a motherfucking.
Pick up your chest, I swear. If you don't get money, they kill like that. When I face my fears, there's nothing I can do from here. For more in the first date, I make mistakes, I swear. For knowledge, I sacrifice my fears. Last time right here, I say I'm better and you can't compare. Yeah, so now you can do the damn crime. You know they can't see me outside. And me, I did what I did, cry. When I get down, I do the damn crime. You know they can't see me outside. Cause me, I did what I did, cry. When I get down, I do the damn crime. You know they can't see me outside. Cause me, I did what I did, cry. When I get down, I do the damn crime. You know they can't see me outside. Cause me, I did what I did, cry. Me, I see a look from my cheddar. I know say nobody hold you better. But if me and you get issues, I forgive you and I don't resent you. I still got love for you. And I say nobody hold you better. And me, I see a look from my cheddar. But if me and you get issues, I forgive you and I don't resent you. I tell you truth and lie to you. And I feel like if it dance it up. When I go out, I'll be behind you. For my cheddar, you know me, I don't play. No lie, no lie. I know if you force it upon you, but you know say nobody do you. If you dance it up, if you just sweet, something like you what I will inside. Sleep after to give me stamina. Oh Lord, me and you at the same time. I never believe you can't dance me, I pull up each other. It's time to sleep, mama. Time to sleep, mama. Baby girl, make it look like. Make it tell your friends, say they feel this guy. Don't even waste time. Cause now me you go follow to the day we die. But meanwhile, I can't wait to make your face just smile. It's not a lie. You set my soul on fire. So many girls that pass you. None of the girls find past you. So many things you've been through.
life will not be the same again. Wouldn't be the same again. You'll never be the same again. You'll never be the same again. Never be the same again. Don't mind them, they lie to you. They talk say me I'm too bad for you. Don't mind them, they lie to you. They talk say my heart a glass, someone don't break it, oh, break it, oh, break it, oh. If a time break it, oh. When I'm gonna take it, oh. When your ways to be ready, oh, ready. Baby, me and ready, oh, ready. When your ways to take it, oh. Baby, girl, make you know the lie. Make it tell your friends, see they feel this guy. Don't even waste time. Cause now make you go follow to the grave time. I mean, why? I can't wait to make your face just smile.
First, let me say to you, I cannot wait to see you. You are the treasure I've been waiting for. Do you know how much I really need you? I dey pray for the day when I can finally kiss you. You know, say every day I dey pray for you. Oh, in my heart today's a permanent place for you. That's why my heart it a beat like do. Cause now you are true, so I am very I sing for you, wanna be like do. Baby, now you are go big, I am very but there we go. See, I may not give the word to you, but I'll give you what I have. Oh, baby, oh, you are my angel, oh. Could you me, oh. Shabby, you know, say every day I pray for you. Oh, in my heart, oh, there's a permanent place for you. That's why my heart is a bit like do. Cause now you are true, so I am very I sing for you, wanna be like do. Baby, now you are gonna be gone, I am very only for you, it'll be like got me confused, in my shaka, what you want me, I got you. Got me confused, I'm in the mood. In my shaka, what you want me, I got you. Can be a job, position me in my conscience. I be that judge where you live in me above. I think for your house, so I'll be your love. Can be a job, position me in my conscience. I be that judge where you live in me above. I think for your house, so I'll be your love. I'm always on time. Send out you and the girls on the side. Do that you like in a pocket fine. And I like your way, so I must say. You got me confused. I'm in the mood. In my shaka, what you want me, I got you. You got me confused. I'm in the mood. In my shaka, what you want me, I got you. Can be a job. Position me in my conscience. I be that judge when you live in me above. I get for your house.
She wants a gangster in a bed tonight. She wants me, I know. And man, I fool on me a day tonight. She a calling my phone. Oh, she say when it's so angry. Tell me the main reason you want me. The man with the ED. Curious girl, she got questions for Siri. We got that booty and wine for me. So crazy, you driving me. Girl, you put it on me nicely. She riding it, I'm sliding it. Spread out two legs slightly. For mama spread them so widely. Caribbean girl won't die for me. She have to die for me, yeah. Bounce your body away, bounce you out. Girl, you go down, not to south. Sure you agree, I know fish out. Yeah. Bounce your body away, bounce you out. I'm on no scream, no to shout. Yeah. No loud them, no loud them.
time that I check. Now before I digress, check. Now before I digress, my girl, you told me that I'm not your love interest. See my girl, the last time that I check. Now before I digress, my girl, you told me that I'm not your love interest. See my girl, check, and that I check. See nothing ain't changed. Expect that I got a big bag and a big check. Don't you nobody coming on check. Now before I digress, my girl, you told me that I'm not your love interest. See my girl, the last time that I check. See nothing ain't changed yet. Except that I got a big bag and a big flag. Don't you nobody coming nonsense, my nigga. Streets is so cold, my nigga. When nobody come try cry me a river. I'ma pull through like the strings on my guitar. Nonsense, my nigga. The streets is so cold, my nigga. When nobody come try cry me a river. I'ma pull through like the strings on my guitar. So cold outside, my brother. I don't want pull no trigger. I just want you, what's I going place? I don't want no wahala. It's so cold outside, my brother. Me, I know the hate on the brother. Me, I just want the what's I going places? I don't want no wahala. Oh, it's so cold outside. Me, I know they let nothing to worry me. I know they let nothing to bother me. They no owe no one apology. You know say she don't know they bother nobody. Me, I know they let nothing to bother me. I know they let nothing to bother me. They no owe no one apology.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can we please take our seats? We're going to continue with the next section of the event. So ladies and gentlemen, let us please take our seats. Thank you.
Close your eyes and come see the yeah. Don't you worry about a thing, cause if you were gone, you can't get it if you were. If you strive hard, you can't be just what you want. If you were gone, you can climb the mountain top. Nothing is too small. Teardrops cry. Nothing is like nobody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have our seats now. We are going to begin. Let us please come back in and have our seats. We are going to begin right now. All right, so moving right along into the next section of the day is going to be the award recognition ceremony, where we're going to recognize the top 10 transacting microfinance banks in recognition of all the amazing work and partnerships that we have in place. And to present the awards with me, I'll please like to ask that the head of Financial Services 1, so Ramome Agbofode, to please come up to join me to now give this presentation. So please put your hands together. Okay, so if you're outside, could you please just come back in? Can we just get them to come back in so we can get started?
While we wait for them, we just want to talk about the awards. So we're giving the awards in different categories. I won't actually call you in order to say, okay, this is the best transacting award. We have people who over time have several channels with us. So you're not just on our ASP, FEP platform, you're doing several things with us. So we're recognizing those people. We have people who, in terms of card issuance and all they are like on the top. They've issued several cards, much more than others. Then we have people who, in terms of
by one. And first off, I would like to please ask that Core Step Microfinance Bank to please come up. Thank you.
Core Step, yes. So thank you very much for your patronage. We hope to
show the
have
award.
you
Yeah.
around.
All right, thank you very much.
On behalf of Costep Microfinance Bank, we thank the Interswift for honoring us with this award. Even though we're just maybe under 1 year old under Interswift integration. I believe maybe by the next time we're going to come here, there'll be more of. So I thank all the Interswift team, all the management, the board, and all the staffs as well. And so on behalf of COSTEP and the staff, the board, and the management of the COSTEP, we really appreciate for recognizing us for this partnership. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. So moving right along, up next for the second award, we have Personal Trust. Personal Trust MFB, please put your hands together.
Thank you very much for your patronage.
Okay, thank you very much. On behalf of Personal Trust Microfinance Bank, I want to thank the Interswift team for honoring us with this presentation. It's been a long journey with Interswift. We've been doing things together since 2018. We are on the lending platform, the ILS platform. We are also doing things around card issuance, card acquirance services, and so on and so forth. So it's been a good partnership. Just like we've been saying, we want the customer service aspect of it to also be stepped up so that at least we realize value for all the investment we've also put in place. But it's been a good relationship. And once again, we appreciate Interswift.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And then up next, we have High Street MFB to please come up. High Street MFB. All right, put your hands together for High Street MFB.
Thank you very much for your patronage.
All right, thank you very much. I must say we need to change the name to Rubies. We changed this name a long time ago, since 2019. Well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Noted.
All right, thank you very much. All right, and up next we have Axion Microfinance Bank. Congratulations, please come on up. They're not here? Oh, okay, all right. And then next.
I'm sure they're joining online, I think.
They're joining online, okay. So we'll make sure we hand that award to them. And then after that, we have LACPO MFB, are they here?
Thank you very much for your patronage.
Please, it's actually called LAPO, not LAPO.
Please correct me again.
LAPO.
Okay,
like
thank you very
police.
Thank you
So
very
not
much.
LAPO. Thank you, Interswift, for being our partners in technology. We've been partners for years now and will continue to be. And I would just hope that we'll be getting better services going forward and we'll grow together in terms of technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And after that, we have Spectrum MFB. Please come on up. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your patronage.
Okay, on behalf of Spectrum Microfinance Bank management and staff, we appreciate and we thank you for honoring us for the partnership within the last 2 years. We hope we achieve more together. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you very much. And then up next, we have VFD MFB, VFD Microfinance Bank.
Thank you very much for your patronage.
Thank you so much, Interswitch. We appreciate you for recognizing us, and we are committed to do more business with you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. And next up, we have Lechego. Lechego MFD. Please put your hands together. Thank you. Let she go. All right, thank you very much. Let she go, MFB. Thank you. Please put your hands together. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your patronage.
Thank you. On behalf of Leshiro Microfinance Bank, I want to say thank you to the management, and I hope and that just like my other colleague have said, we'll do more better business going forward, and also the area that we're having challenges, as had been enumerated today, we'll be able to see how you can help us to improve on the joining so far. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And up next, we have O3 Capital, O3 Capital Microfinance Bank. Are they here? No? Okay, so we'll make sure we send it to them. And then last, but definitely not the least, like I said, in no particular order, we have AB Microfinance Bank, AB Microfinance Bank. And if they're not here, we'll definitely be sending them their award. So that's it, the top 10 transacting banks working with this wonderful organization. So please put your hands together for each and every one of them once again. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to hand back over to my wonderful colleague, Educate, who will now take us into the next section. And please put your hands together for my co-host during this particular section. Samora, please put your hands together for her. Thank you.
All right. I'd like to say a big congratulations to the awardees. Of course, we're all winners. And I'm sure that for some of us who didn't receive an award today, I'm sure the next time you will be awarded. And we look forward to, of course, doing a lot of business with you to help you get there. Up next, we continue with the presentations on our innovations at Interswitch. Next is payroll. Of course, we do know that salaries and payment is very close to the heart of every employee. When the time for the organization to do that comes and that is not being done, of course, it creates all sorts of issues. Even the biggest of the biggest, even the MDs do complain. So at Interswitch, we're also innovating in that area. We've got a very good and solid solution that we would like to present to you. So I'd like to call on Sogwe Aswafen, who is a product owner for payroll process within the 60-grad division of Interswitch, to talk to us about payroll management service. Please put your hands together for Sogwe.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice being here today. Okay, I'm here to speak about payroll, Interswitch payroll management system, and I want everyone to follow me through. In 1903, in 1903, Will West was arrested in the US for a crime. During his admission process, snapshots, measurements, height was collected. But someone noticed something unique about his measurements. there was someone that was already incarcerated with similar features. They went in and found out this person is called William West. Let's not forget, the person that was actually arrested was Will West. Who was incarcerated was William West. Two different people, the same features. Why? How did they not know this? We can all say, as at that time, there was no system to show anyone who is who. There was no system to differentiate between A and B. Now let's bring this home. 4 years ago, my aunt retired as a teacher. She started her journey in Edo State, came to Lagos and retired in Lagos. But in most cases, you see her going to Benin. And I asked, why? What's happening in Benin that you're always traveling there? He said they are going to do pension movement, one thing or the other. I said, okay, when you travel, what do you actually do there? He said, all they just do is snapshot. Then she enters the next bus to Lagos. That is what they do. So today, Interswitch, we've looked into user journey and said, oh, we don't need to offer individual items. Most institutions today make use of a solution called HR management system, strictly for onboarding, leave management, trainings. That is what HR management system does. But Interswitch has looked through and have said, let's not do HR management system. We are going to bring all the solutions that an institution needs, put it in a box and offer it back to you. That is what Interswitch payroll management system is today. So Interswitch has looked through. So we've looked through to say, okay, so we've looked through and we've said, let's offer these basic features of our payroll management system. The first of it is what most institutions use today, which is the HR management system. From the very onset, when a staff is employed into a company, how is he onboarded? What's the user journey? What's the flow? How does he manage leave his leave? How is training done? That is what the HR management system entails in this solution. So each staff has a controlled environment to do whatever he wants to do with his profile. I'm created on this solution. I can make changes. My address change. I make the changes myself. I don't need to always go to HR to do anything. They've given you the power to handle your activity. When it's time for pension management, the solution also provides elaborate deduction as to how pension is paid. I could be corrected, please, but my understanding today is that when one is out of job for about 3 months, he can take a part of his pension. But in most cases, you see that people don't actually know how much they are meant to take. It's a problem. This solution gives a breakdown, step by step, from the day you start making pension payments till the day the person leaves. It is available to the staff. Elaborate. Payroll processing, same. The beautiful thing about this is this solution is integrated to our auto-gate disbursement feature. This is one feature everyone must have. It's a must-have, if I must say. So I don't need to go anywhere today to make these payments. It is available for you. All you need to do is you log, or whoever has been given that responsibility to upload payments, makes the upload, and whoever is responsible for making the disbursement clicks on this button, and that is all. So we've cut away all the process flow of
write this document, go to the next office, seek approval. When management signs this approval, you take it to finance. Finance goes and upload for the MD. The MD comes, he processes. That whole bottleneck has been taken off. All you need to do is have this solution. The beautiful thing is, it's not just a web-based system, it's also a mobile web. So with your mobile phone, you can do what you need to do at any time. Expenditure management is a very simple process too. Today, companies buy items, or companies even pay vendor. How do they make these payments? Through our expenditure system. All they need to do is you upload, and everything is done seamless. No much hassle with this system. So beyond what is here, it also has the lending feature. It's been integrated to Interswift lending service to enable salary lending. So I actually don't need to go anywhere. Right from my mobile phone, I can request for a loan and get my loan immediately. No one will come and tell me, oh, please get me 3 months pay slip just to get loan. Then I'll start running to the bank, please, or go to HR. HR, please, I need this pay slip for the past 3 months. Give it to me, let me go and submit in this bank. Everything is on this system. Elaborate enough. So how does this system work really? The system is a platform with so many instances running at the same time. So everyone can be configured on this system and have your own session to do whatever you want to do with your own profile. That's how this system works. Once the admin is created for an institution, he does all activities that has to do with this solution. The same thing with admin for institution B. Once he's created on this profile, he can do everything he wants to do. However, there's someone with the super admin rights that oversees whatever is going on this solution. You also need to have a source account from which every form of debit will be made. So if I'm paying salaries, a source account is configured for it. If I'm paying leave allowance, a source account is configured for it. If I'm making payment, disbursement, a source account is configured on this system. It's as simple as that. So within our own space, as an industry, you can look through. I'm sure there are so many of us that make payments to schools, primary, secondary schools, have accounts with us. How do we manage this account? We can see this solution as a value add, if you ask me. So I'm working with a school and I tell the school, you don't need to call me all the time to making these payments. You don't need to do anything. Just sign up on this application. It's a value add for you, really. So once again, this solution looks deep into our system to say, how do we move from here? I know so many of us know, we are used to the very word that they call ghost workers. We are used to that word. It's not new to anybody here. What does this system do? It streamlines that process. So you have a valid head count of an organization today. There's no time payment to be made to 2 similar accounts. It flags it immediately. It's very important. We all know that. So there's no way you can say someone was overpaid because it's what was configured that it pays. Nothing much about that. We also tend to minimize error. All paperwork goes. Making use of this system, you have no business with paperwork anymore. So you don't need to have different systems, because we know that some institutions, they handle HR management system separately. They have their payroll system separately. So if I'm working here and I need to make payment, I will have to go out of this application, log on to the next application to make this payment. But this solution, everything is one. You don't need to go anywhere. Right from your login, you can do what you want to do. I think from here, I will leave it this way. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sogwe. Some beautiful things. A one-stop shop for your personnel management, basically, within your institutions. It's time for us to take your questions. I'd like to see hands up, please. Any question for Sogwe? Okay, so it means he communicated very well. And then, of course, we look forward to you signing up, with us on the payroll management solution. Do I take it that it's a yes? Okay. All right. Thank you. So we.
All right. Thank you. Please put your hands together. All right. So we just have a couple more sections to go. And interesting conversations and topics. And I think the next one is going to be one of specific interest, especially in line with what we all do, things we all have to face, especially around some of the conversations that we had earlier about security. And it has to do with AML and fraud. That's looking specifically at the anti-money laundering and also with regards to how fraud is captured in that. And to give that particular presentation, I know he hadn't planned on it, but I know that he can deliver it, is indeed my esteemed colleague and co-MC for the day, the head of banking technologies, my co-MC and wonderful speaker. Please put your hands together for Ejike Ngene. We've got you working hard today, I know.
Thank you, Nwaji. And thanks to the audience. Again, I'd like to say you are welcome. It's good that we have you here, right? So we've spoken to a whole lot of the new things we're doing in Interswift. And of course, today within the banking sector, within all of the cool things that we've spoken to, if you do all that and you do not talk about fraud, then you haven't started. And of course, it's probably the biggest challenge facing us within the financial services sector in this country today. So I'd like to talk to you about our anti-money laundering and fraud solution. And we'll just take it forward from here. So let's dive straight into it. So before now, up until now, actually, I'm sure some of you are familiar with our score bridge solution in Interswift. Some of you may be customers on that platform, a rule-based fraud detection and prevention system, which we have deployed in a number of banks, microfinance houses today. But what we're doing alongside all of the innovation that we've spoken to today is we're building a new solution, which gives you the ability to do the rule-based approach and also the behavioral approach. During one of the presentations, somebody talked about, detecting behaviors, customer behaviors and all of that. I think it was the gentleman over there. So this solution, helps us to do all of that. So it's called ARIC, Risk Hub, of course, an enterprise fraud and financial crime management solution. I like us to look at some of the data that we have. Please, can I have my pointer? Okay, good. It's really not working on this thing, but I wanted to speak to, if you look at the right side, in Nigeria, between January and September 2020, we had, Nigerian, financial services companies losing as much as 5.2 billion, naira to the bad guys, right? We are the good guys, trying to do stuff, trying to help you, do more transactions. But of course, the bad guys try to be way ahead of some of us, the good guys. The bulk of that, if you look at July and September 2020, companies lost up to 3.36 billion. This was, a 510% increase from the 550 million lost to fraudsters in the same period in 2019, just a year later, we are losing plus 510%, right? So this is a big deal within the financial circle. And I mean, we can't say we're not aware of this, but what are we doing as Interswitch to also try to plug, the holes? Going forward, fraudsters attempted, through mobile channels, we talked about mobile today, increased by 330%, while web and POS fraud increased by 173% and 215% year on year, respectively. I think Madam spoke to it. What are we doing around our channel solutions to ensure that it is secure and it's not open to fraud, right? So these are some of the numbers. I'm sure you have them. One of my colleagues spoke to having access to, you guys have access to the CBN publication on the fraud in Nigeria. So I'm sure you know these numbers more than I do. But what are we doing to ensure that we reduce these numbers? I'm speaking about our fraud detection and management solution, where it's called ARICOB, offering you card fraud prevention, application fraud prevention, payment fraud prevention, and the likes. I'll get into the details as we progress. But what is the vision? Again, what is our vision? What is driving us? What are we looking to achieve? We're looking to deliver a platform that monitors real-time customer data using prevention adaptive behavioral analytics, right? This is an enhancement to what we currently have in the market today that we are sunsetting. This solution uses machine learning, artificial intelligence, and anti-money laundering approaches for fraud monitoring to spot suspicious activities and prioritize alerts. So today, what you find is you've set your rules. You've said once AGK goes to the bank and he does 6 transactions, the 7th one, don't allow. Most of these things are set up today, or AGK is not allowed to transact beyond maybe 200,000 naira, right? So the moment that happens, okay, the system flags it. That is rule-based. But what about, if you add something else to it, which is to say, I stay in Lagos, maybe out of 365 days in a year, I'm probably in Lagos, let's assume 300, days, right? And suddenly you see transactions coming from, I'm forward looking. So instead of using my village, I'm going to use New York. You see transactions hitting, your core banking from AGK, and it's quite rapid. You've configured my cards to just do 200,000, naira worth of transactions. You've configured my card to say once I do maybe 10 transactions, it blocks it, right? But what we've done is to add that dynamics to it, where the system uses, the behavior of AGK. AGK has been transacting all of the things we see going on, in AGK's transactions. It does it. Live it in Lagos, he goes to ATMs in Lagos, he goes to eateries in Lagos and the likes, right? So the system monitors the way I behave. But what we've added to it is, as it monitors the way I behave, if it detects that my behavior deviates from what is known, it flags it, and it gives you the opportunity to call me to say, I saw a transaction coming from New York. AGK, were you the one that initiated it? Okay, because you won't allow that transaction to go through unless I confirm, right, that truly I am the one that has left Lagos, where I spent 300 days of my life, and I'm now in New York and trying to transact. So this is some of the things that we've built into, ARICOB, which is, the new kid on the block for us as far as fraud detection and prevention is. And of course, this also offers you the anti-money laundering, solution that we talk about. So you can easily detect the politically exposed individuals that, you're going to be dealing with as you transact in the market. So This is just architecture. This is technical stuff. I wouldn't want to bore you going through all of this. I just like to move to the benefits of this solution. So we've spoken to CAD, we spoke to Verve today. You know all the CAD schemes in the market. I won't mention names, but this solution helps you to prevent, card fraud. Right? It enables the highest levels of customer acceptance with zero friction, while helping you to prevent card fraud. Merchant acquiring fraud prevention. Today, the new buzzword is agency banking. I know the MFBs are very much interested in going into agency banking and also trying to do merchant acquiring. You want to give them POS, you want them to transact, you want to make more money. This solution helps you, to be able to prevent fraud that could come from that angle. Anti-money laundering goes without, saying so much. It comes with an engine, and we're connected to the global solutions out there, World Check and the likes of those solutions out there that help you to basically flag individuals who are politically exposed when you're dealing with them, who are also into money laundering as you deal with them, as they come to you to try to open accounts and also transact. Payment fraud, this solution also helps, it gives you that ability, it comes with that ability to be able to detect and prevent fraudulent payment activities with minimal manual intervention. Once you set up, the roles, the artificial intelligence part of it, continuously learns, the transaction pattern of the customer. And based on this learning, it's able to actually trigger a lot of things, for you, based on the customer's behavior. Also, looking at application fraud prevention, this application actually helps you to do all of this. So really, if you look at all the different aspects of, customer touch points, from card to payments to merchant acquiring, which is one of the things that a lot of MFBs are into these days. You find out that this actually helps, and again, of course, the regulator is very keen on anti-money laundering solutions. So as you take decisions around how you can acquire more customers, how you can innovate and become number one, you also need to then pay attention to the fact that fraud prevention is key, because as they say, what would it profit a man, right, to gain the entire world and lose heaven? So you do all of the cool things that you're doing, right, but you can't prevent fraud on your system. It just means that you haven't basically done anything. What are the product offerings that we have on this? We have authentication management, which means multiple authentication methods are available. We've talked about 2FA, and all the likes today. All of these are available on this platform. Digital banking fraud as well. We have an optimized fraud defenses for, the ever-changing world of our digital bank. MFBs today are becoming digital banks. We keep talking about the likes of, VFD that is in the house. How are you able, to transform yourself from the regular MFB that you are today to a digital bank with that fraud prevention, within what you're trying to achieve? Payment fraud goes without saying. Specific extensible fraud prevention for all payment types. You name it, we exist in a world where the regulator, the innovation here is by the minute. As we speak, somebody is thinking of the next, payment type to come out in this market. Of course, it has advanced fraud analytics, with expert-driven machine learning analytics. I've spoken to this, which means that as individuals transact, the transaction pattern of the individual is learned over time, and that again helps the system to be able to detect when a fraud is likely going to happen based on the transaction pattern or the behavioral pattern of such an individual. Excuse me. Card and emerging markets. This again goes without saying. All of the traditional payment forms, the cards that we know today, the Verve, the MasterCards of this world, and the Visa, this actually comes native to be able to prevent fraud that could come from, those payment forms. Then, of course, the internal threats that you have, somebody spoke about, a lot of the frauds that you actually, that happens in our market today are largely insider driven, So this system actually comes, enabled to help you detect internal frauds, right? And it makes sure that at the end of the day, you are very much protected. That's my last slide. Okay, I hope I didn't bore you. I hope you have one or two things, to take away from this. This is a platform as a service solution, which means, and all of the things that we've talked about today, this stands in front of each and every one of them, right? If you like, if you get on this, and then it means that as you consider the omni-channels that we spoke to earlier, you consider our payroll management solution, you consider our Verve scheme, you consider the mobile banking platform, you and your customers are actually transacting and processing, in a safe and secure manner on our platforms. This is what we have to give to you from the perspective of fraud detection and prevention. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions on the presentation? Sure.
Okay, thank you. I heard AML was supposed to be part of this.
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't see you delve much into anti-money laundering aspect of it. Because I was going to ask questions like, how does this integrate to NFIU system? How does, there's rendition from the bank into NFIU and onto the international organization that monitors anti-money laundering?
Okay, sorry I didn't speak so much to the AML, but it's parts and parcel, of the application. Actually, it's very native. We are aware of, your regular daily, reports that you actually render to the anti-money, to NFIU and the likes. So again, this is an API-based solution that integrates into all of the platforms in, all of the fraud platforms in the market. Of course, we're Interswitch. We understand the fact that you need to render regulatory reports, right? So this actually comes native with that, and it plugs into all of the existing platforms. I spoke earlier about the AML when I said it plugs into the likes of the World Check, that you have, which is like a global system where you have basically all the politically exposed individuals and money laundering individuals, across the globe, right? So once you are on this, you should be able to type such a name that is in your mind, and then it basically tells you that this is not a party that you should be dealing with. This party is politically exposed. This party is a money laundering agent, and the likes. And like we said, we spoke to some other solutions that we have. If you're interested, we can sit together in a room and then explore and expose you all of the capabilities of the solution. But yes, it addresses your AML challenges.
All right, thank you. Thank you, HK. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Please put your hands together for HK. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. We're now going to move into the last presentation of the day that's going to look at integrated messaging service, specifically with SMS. And it's basically how you can use SMS to do a lot of transactions. We already know what we do via USSD, but there's so much more that you can use the integrated SMS for. So it's going to be a very exciting presentation that's going to be put together by Kolowale Oloke, who is the Message as a Service Platform Executive. So please put your hands together. Thank you. Sure.
Thank you very much. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kola Oleoloke. It is very good to be here today. All right, thank you. Okay, so it's very good to be here today. So I'll be taking the presentation on the messaging business. So I'm from the business group in Interswitch, where the messaging business resides, where the enterprise communication business resides, where the enterprise reward, mobile access services, and basically anything around the communication business. So I'll be taking the presentation today, speaking to the messaging business, our solution overview, our platform architecture, our API standards, and basically everything to know about the messaging business today for Interswitch. So moving to the presentation. Okay, so the messaging business today, everybody knows that the importance of communication cannot be overemphasized. The importance of customer communication, customer engagement cannot be overemphasized, because every brand that wants to position itself at the face of the customers, you definitely have to communicate effectively with them. If you are not communicating with your customers, you're not creating the needed visibility. How many of us here in this room today know about Google? How many of us, please? How many of us know about Facebook? Did anyone have to tell you about them? Sorry, I'm not hearing you, please. Did anyone have to tell you about them? So how did they create this visibility? This is because they're able to understand the power of communication, and they're able to understand the power of advertisement. So they built a strong business model around advertisement. So if your company is not creating that needed visibility today, you need to find a way to put a structure around that. So we are in the era today that everybody wants to know what is happening. Whatever you are doing, if you are transacting, if you are buying, if you're selling, you want to know what is happening. If I made a transfer, I want to know. If I get a deposit, I want to know. If I get a withdrawal, if I made a transfer, if I get a debit alert. Yeah, so we're in that era today. Everybody wants to know what is happening within your space, what is happening. So, I mean, what we've created today is a digital solution that would endear you with your customer base. It would put you together with your customer base to create that sort of communication that is very needed. So Interswitch in its innovative self has acquired Vanso to actually create a strategy around the communication business and give brands and corporates the ability to have that communication business and effectively position itself to communicate with its customers. So let me tell you a short story. So there was this guy actually went to his bank. He went to his bank, he said, okay, I want to open an account. The account manager engaged him. So how do you want your authorization to happen today? He said he just wants it to be by email. He said he wants it to be by email, really. Okay, so I mean, the bank configured it, of course. I mean, customer first. They actually go by anything you request. So they gave him the email access he needed. And one day or one fateful night, there was a fraud issue overnight. I mean, he was asleep. His email was compromised, and then this guys actually had access to his financial information. So this is because of course, you can only, this is because, his communication suite was not as exhaustive enough. So, in accordance with email, you also need to get the full communication suite to ensure that your customers are well protected. So, today, if you're actually using email, whenever your email is hacked, your unauthorized access can actually happen in your account. So you need to configure it with something, with another tool that is very simple, a very simple communication protocol, something that has been existing for a long time today, that will give your customer the needed security. So this tool that I'm actually talking about today is a very easy one. A tool today that look at the efficient board, just the center of the slide here. That's very easy to onboard. All you have to do is you get our form, SMS description form, then we move to implementation, then you make payments and then go live. All these processes can actually be achieved in 30 days, really. 30 days, 3 to 5 days. We are empowering several banks today, several microfinance banks. And I know microfinance banks, you guys have actually achieved a lot. You've done a lot. You've drove innovation at the grassroots level. From a micro lending perspective, from a digital banking perspective in the retail space. So what we want to do with you, this business, we want to help you cement this your customer base. We want to help you expand your customer base. We want to grow with you. We want to give you communication tools that would allow you to retain these customers. So, I mean, this is what we're actually talking about today. So Vanso is actually in the business of doing this. We are doing this for different commercial banks, different microfinance bank institutions and OFIs. So we offer these services to them, and it is very easy. This is just a funnel, and it allows you to comply with regulatory standards. Today we know that CBN requires all microfinance banks or commercial banks to actually notify their customers about transactions. So I mean, through these ways, you can notify your customer effectively. You can also know what they are doing. You can notify them about new products, new solutions. If you want to give out loans, if you want to expand your customer base to databases you are not playing in today, this is a way to do that. If you also want to deliver OTPs, you want to basically, I mean, send out any form of notification. Really, this is something we empower, I mean, different institutions with today. So I mean, you can see this other part that speaks to the features and advantages of our platform. We also have the use cases and different teams in the banks today that's actually relevant and find this tool very useful to their engagement. So this is it. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. So I mean, as of today, we're actually in different networks, of course. In several countries too. We actually play in several countries, looking at the volumes to different industry segments, the key industry segments, fintechs, utility, microfinance banks, OFI, different segments. And we're also expanding with our banks. We're ready to work with you, to expand with you, to partner with you, to share ideas on how to break into several customer bases. So I mean, see it here really. 15 plus key industry segments, all the imperative that matters to the banks. We're willing to work with you to find a way to create a strategy around this and how to dominate and engage different channels. And also, I mean, I was mentioned that our prices are very competitive. Today, we also sell to different aggregators and retailers, different aggregators that even resell to their customers. And this is basically because our prices are very cheap. And also, it is worth mentioning, as usual for Interswitch, we are the market leader in this industry today. So I mean, we are top 2 in the industry today, according to the standard, which is, of course, peculiar to Interswitch. So, and also we have a very strong platform that allows you to, the very scalable platform, very useful platform. It is with very high reporting standards. Any way you want to track, any way you want to monitor, we'll give you an access. We'll give you access to actually create your customers on the platform, track the messages delivery, and check how it is being utilized. You have access to this information today. And also, so this is just a sample of what the dashboard of our reporting dashboard. This is what it looks like today. You have different messages status, deliverable, delivered, undelivered, expired. So you can use it to track the status of different numbers, different engagements that you are doing, different campaigns, anything really. You can use it to just monitor, check the platform, and do it. So like I've said earlier, we're willing to work with you. We want to partner. We're looking to expand your customer base. So any engagement you want, you can always bank on us. Anything messaging, bank on us. Think messaging, think Interswitch, think communication, think Vanso, think platform uptime, think platform uptime, think platform uptime, think standard infrastructure, think messaging and communication. Okay, yeah, so that will be all for my presentation. So I'll be available at the back for any inquiries or anything really. If you want to make any clarification, you can speak to me. And also I'm available for any questions. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Colin. Any questions? Any questions? All right, thank you very much. Please put your hands together. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kolade Oloke, for that beautiful presentation. We're rounding up. We'll soon allow you to go back and continue to make money. But before then, we'd like to recognize, those of you that are customers here. So I'd like to call on Nico Sinaleke to say thank you on our behalf to you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nick Olsen. All right, I would like to appreciate everyone that's come for this event. I know for some, the invitation came at short notice, and for some, they already were aware. I want to say thank you for coming. But before I round off, right now, I just want to inform you as well that this event is actually being streamed online. So we have so many people online as well. We've been getting reports and feedback and also questions that we've been responding to. But I want to do a quick roll check of the people who are here at the venue right now. So if you don't mind, I may just call on your organization and just wave at me wherever you are so I can take notes, if you don't mind. Are we together? All right, thank you. So first, I'm going to be calling, in no particular order, really. I'll be calling on Mosfin Microfinance Bank. Are you here? All right. Okay. Permit me, I'm going to tick that out. Okay, so we have Mosfin here. What about Channel MFB? Oh, great. Thank you. Okay. Also, VFD MFB. Are they here? VFD? Okay, hello. Okay, Personal Trust. Thank you. Fushore Finance Company. Okay, thank you. These are the people that have been participating the most. Lesego Microfinance Bank. Okay, thank you. Rego Microfinance Bank. Okay. Titan Trust. Okay, great. Spectrum Microfinance Bank. Spectrum. Okay, hi. All right, thank you. Tangerine Money. All right, thank you. I'll put your hands on Tangerine Money. I didn't hear that. It wasn't that loud. All right. NPF. Okay, thank you. Compugene. I saw Compugene outside. Is he still here? I saw him, he was here earlier. We were having a chat outside. Okay, Core Step. Core Step is here. Mr. Abidemi. Santa Corp. Santa Corp here, okay. Fundal. Do we have Fundal here? Okay. Zenith Insurance. Okay. Put your hands together for Zenith Insurance, please. Access Matrix Microfinance Bank. Hello. Okay. Adosur Microfinance Bank. Okay, hello. Aza Microfinance Bank. Okay. Ruby's Microfinance Bank. I saw Ruby's there as well. Okay, Cocoon. I think the whole team is here. Ruby's, Cocoon. All right. Subpolitan. I think he stepped out, right? Subpolitan, yes. Yeah, I saw him earlier. Okay, SafeGate. SafeGate who stepped out as well. Yeah, okay. AG Mortgage Bank. He was here as well. Okay, great. Okay, all right. Firmus. Is Firmus here? Firmus. Okay. Haggai. Is Haggai here? Nice to meet you, Haggai. Abe Mortgage. Yes, I see you. Then Lapo. Is Lapo here? Lapo, oh, he was here earlier. Okay. All right, that's all on my list. Put your hands together for yourself. Is there anyone I missed out that's here as well? Okay, so I want to say thank you very much, and we really appreciate your comment. I'll hand over to my colleagues here.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nicholson. Okay, so we're now going to wrap up, and we're going to have the vote of thanks from Ikechukwu Ugu, who will now share with us a few quick words to wrap up and close out. So please put your hands together for Ikechukwu Ugu. Thank you.
Thank you, Waji. We've come to the end of the event. I hope it was enlightening. I hope it added value to us. I hope we met the expectation. So as we wrap up, again, I'd like to continue from where Nico had stopped to really thank us for taking time out to be a part of this event. It's quite difficult in Lagos, busy schedule and all of those things to find time. I think we've been here for like 4 hours plus. So we really, really appreciate it, you know, and we want to promise that we'll have events like this subsequently. so that we can get us together in rooms, hear feedback, and keep looking for ways that we would optimize and serve you better. Let's not be in a hurry to leave the hall. To the left-hand side of the hall, we have lunch served and ready for us, so don't be in a hurry to leave. We also have gift items, souvenirs that will be handed over to you. Just a show of our appreciation for having you around here. Thank you very much. Let's have a beautiful afternoon.
All right, thank you, Ikechukwu. And that brings an end to the evening. Thank you so much. On behalf of my co-MC and I, Ejike.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all very much. Please, lunch is served. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and get back to your respective locations safely. Once again, my name is Waji. I am the corporate